A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Lights out. Everybody. This is the witching hour. It is the hour when dogs howl and evil things are let loose on a sleeping world. Sit in the dark now and listen to Lights Out.
So you don't believe in ghosts, huh? Let me tell you something, friend. Guys that don't believe in ghosts is guys that ain't never seen none, ain't that right? Listen, I can tell you a ghost story that'll make your hair curl. I'll say it'll make your hair curl. Listen. Last August I was nabbed by a couple of coppers. Never mind the details. It just so happened that they come up on me when I was sticking up a filling station and, well, they drugged me in. It was a tough rap to beat, since they got me standing there flat-footed holding a gun on one of the filling station guys, and, well, the coppers didn't like me anyway. Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Because I'd had to bump off a copper a week or two before. And wouldn't it be my luck to be picked up by this guy's partner? Well, they took me in, and they decided to show me the goldfish. You don't know what that is, huh? Well, I'll tell you.
You're a liar.
Yeah? So what, copper?
You rat. I know you knocked off Ambrose Hogan, and you're gonna fry for it.
You gotta prove it first, Miller.
Pull the light over this way a little more, John.
Okay.
Right in his eyes. I'll prove it, rat.
Go ahead.
Hand me the hose, John.
Now, look here. Don't you go ahead.
Now, what do you say?
I'm not gonna rat to no fight.
You ain't, huh?
You wait till I get to a mouthpiece, Miller. You'll be walking a beat out in Circleville ready out.
It won't make no difference to you, punk, where I'm walking a beat, not when you're burned.
Yeah? Who's gonna burn me?
You knocked off Ambrose Hogan.
I was in Omaha the night he got knocked off.
Listen, Maxie. Get this now. Ambrose Hogan was a white guy. When I seen him laying on a slab downstairs, I took a solemn oath I'd get the rat that done it if it took me 50
You ought to hire a... I'll get you for this, copper.
I don't think you're going to get anything out of him, Miller.
There's a smart copper, Miller.
Yeah? Listen, I got a way to get things out of smart guys like you, Maxie. Come on over here, John.
What are you going to do? Listen, Miller.
Shut up.
I want a lawyer. You got to let me have a lawyer. You can't get away.
You want to sing, Maxie? Or do you want to spend a few hours in the haunted cell upstairs?
The what? Another gag, huh?
Think so? Listen, I bet you $8 you change your mind, baby. Get up.
What are you going...
Get going. Go ahead, John. Open the door.
Okay.
What are you going to do to me? You can't get away.
Never know Skeeter Dempsey, Maxie. Come on, this way.
What about him? They burned them last winter.
Yeah, that's right. Friend of yours?
I knowed them.
Well, that's just fine, Maxie. Yes, sir, that'll be just dandy.
What you asking about Skeeter Dempsey for, Miller?
Skeeter killed a copper, too.
So what?
It's bad business to kill coppers, Max. All ready, John?
All ready, yeah.
Right this way, Maxie, my boy.
What you up to?
I'll tell you. Throw it in there, baby. Get it. Now, listen. This here's the cell that Skeeter Dempsey was locked up in when he first came here. He liked the cell, Maxie. He still likes it.
What do you mean?
He'll probably be around to see you before the night's over.
Oh, yeah? Another one of your gags, huh? Well, you won't kid me, copper.
This whole corridor, Maxie. You're the only guy in it. Except Skeeter Dempsey. We'll see what a night here with him will do to you, huh, John?
Yeah.
If you get scared, Maxie, just call. Just yell. Nobody will pay any attention to you. Nobody at all. Except maybe Skeeter Dempsey. Good night, Mac. Come on, John.
Hey, listen now.
Pleasant dreams, you rat.
You can't scare me, Miller. I know your gags. You can't scare me.
No, we'll see about that.
Ghosts. Hey, I want a lawyer.
Good night, Maxie.
Hey, you can't turn the lights out on me. Miller, turn the lights back on, Miller. You can't leave me here in the dark.
Can't, huh?
Miller, why, you flat-footed... Miller, come back here. Miller. I'm scared. Turn the lights on, Miller. For the love of Mike. I'm scared of the dark. Go on. Turn the lights on, Miller. Please. Miller, listen. Take me out of here and...
Cut out the yelling, Maxie, and sit down.
Who are you?
Don't you know me, Maxie? I'm Skeeter Dempsey.
You can't be. It's a gag. Listen, copper.
I'm no copper, Max. Sit down. Let's talk about things.
Where are you?
Right here.
Wait till I light a match. I want to see what you look like.
You'll be surprised, Max.
There ain't nobody here.
Oh, yes, there is, Maxie. I'm right here beside you, kid.
Yeah? It was Skeeter Dempsey, all right. I recognized his voice right away. When I lit the match and couldn't see nobody there, I guess I fainted. I remember trying to yell, only my voice wouldn't work, and when I come to, I was laying on the cell floor. For a minute, I couldn't figure out what happened, and then it all come back to me. You know how it is when you're really scared? Or maybe you've never been real scared, huh? Well, I'll tell you. My mouth was so dry I couldn't hardly breathe. All I could hear was my heart pumping away as loud as an old flivver engine. I was too scared to say a word. I just crawled up onto the bunk and laid there. Listening.
So I scared you, huh, Maxie?
Listen. Go away now.
Whoever you are, go away, go away.
Oh, shut up. I ain't going to hurt you.
I could pray you away.
No, you couldn't, Maxie. You couldn't pray me away. What they got you in here for?
Something else. Nothing.
You knocked off that Hogan guy, didn't you? Well, it's too bad for you, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still here?
Sure.
You ain't scared, Dempsey.
Yes, I am.
Listen, Skeeter Dempsey was burned last winter. I know a reporter that seen him sit in a chair.
That's right.
Well, then you ain't Skeeter Dempsey.
Yes, I am.
I know you're Skeeter. I know.
Stop jittering. I ain't going to hurt you.
But you're a ghost.
Well, what if I am?
I wish you'd go away.
Why should I? This is my cell, after all.
Oh, Skeeter, please.
Oh, Kenneth. Listen, let's talk. I haven't had nobody to talk to for 2 months.
Who'd you talk to then?
George Brown. You remember him?
Yeah, Ice Guy, yeah. Hey, George Brown hung himself in a cell here.
Yeah. This cell.
This cell?
Uh-huh. Him and me sat up and talked all night. And he hung himself next day.
What did he hang himself for?
Oh, he'd have got burned anyway. They had him for 2 jobs. One knocking off an old lady for $70, and the other shooting that bank guy down in Springfield.
Did you see him hang himself, Skeeter?
No, I wasn't here at the time.
Where was you?
Oh, I was away.
Skeeter?
Yeah?
What does it feel like to be dead?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What's the matter?
Oh, what about hell and all that?
You get used to it.
My old lady used to make me go to Sunday school, and they used to talk about hell there. Fire and everything.
There ain't no fire.
Ain't they?
No. It's worse than that.
What's it like?
You'll find out.
If I get out of this rap, I think I'll go straight.
You're too late, Mac.
No, I ain't. I'll beat it.
No, you won't. You gotta croak.
Sometime, yeah.
You'll croak on this rap.
How do you know?
I know. There's one way you could get out of some of the hell, though, Mac.
How?
Bump yourself off.
What do you mean?
Well, if you wait for the law to punish you, that's one thing. If you take the law in your own hands and, well, kind of punish yourself, it'll make a difference.
Is it pretty tough, Skeeter?
What, hell?
Dying.
It hurts awful. The chair, I mean. You go in feeling pretty cocky and figuring you can take it and you're going to be a tough guy and all. And then...
What then, Skeeter?
And all of a sudden you find you can't take it. You don't want to yell and scream, but... Oh, well, it's awful.
God. What then, Skeeter?
You ain't never had no pain in all your life, Max. Can begin to compare with the chair.
Yeah?
You'll find out.
Do you really think I will, Skeeter?
What do you think?
I wonder how it feels to bump yourself off.
George Brown said it was all right. Kind of made him feel better, he said.
He said?
Yeah, I seen him the day after.
Oh. Huh?
If I was you, Mac, I think I'd do it.
Yeah. I'm not going to bump myself off. I won't do it. These lousy coppers ain't going to make me. Who's that?
Miller, I guess.
Is that you, Miller?
Who was you talking to, Maxie? Skeeter Dempsey?
Listen, Miller, Let me out of here. No kidding, let me out. Put me any place you want to put. Listen, Miller.
Scared, Maxie?
Miller.
Scared? Who was you talking to, Maxie? Skeeter Dempsey?
Miller, no. Listen, Miller, turn on the lights. Will you turn them on, Miller, just for a minute?
Dark's got you down, huh?
Miller, please, turn on the lights.
Well, why not? It'll be darker still when I turn them off again. What's the matter now?
Miller, there ain't anybody here.
That's right. Was Skeeter in here with you, kid?
I thought there ain't anybody here.
Oh, yes, there is, Max.
I wouldn't worry about it,
I'm
Max.
right here beside you. And I'm going to stay.
They kept me in that cell there for 4 weeks. Every once in a while, Miller'd come in and stand there in front of the door and laugh at me. Gonna sign a confession, Maxie? He'd say. Oh, I wasn't gonna give him nothing. But that place got me. Just as soon as it was dark, I'd hear Skeeter Dempsey's footsteps and he'd come and sit down with me. I was awful scared at first. It's kind of hard to get used to practically living with a ghost. But then I kind of got used to him. He was always telling me how I was going to burn and how I'd be better off to hang myself like George Brown done. I guess it was a little bit nuts. Miller wouldn't let me have no lawyers either. He was keeping me in there without doing anything about it so as they could hand me the rap when the time come. Well, the time come. Someplace or other, Miller dug up the evidence that I wouldn't give them, and they had me. And how they had me. So one morning, a few weeks later, I'm sitting in the courtroom. The jury's been out 20 minutes.
Everybody rise. Sit down. Gentlemen of the jury, have you arrived at a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Will you pass the verdict to the bailiff, please?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Max Young, guilty of murder in the first degree.
Mr. Foreman, is this your verdict?
It is, Your Honor.
The defendant will rise.
Get up, Maxie.
Max Young, have you anything to say before sentence is passed on you?
Well, no, Your Honor.
You realize that in a verdict of guilty of first-degree murder, the death penalty is mandatory?
Yeah. Yeah, Your Honor.
Very well, then. It is the sentence of this court that you are to be taken from this place and between the 21st and the 30th of December, shot to death by electricity. And may God have mercy on your soul.
All right, Maxie. Come on this way. Well, Max, that's that.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I didn't say nothing.
It was me, Max. I said there's only one way out now.
Well, so that was that. They wasn't ready to send me down to the state prison where they bump off guys, so they kept me in this here wing of the county jail where they had me in Skeeter Dempsey's old cell. I guess this guy Miller must have liked his pal Ambrose Hogan quite a lot, the guy I knocked off. Huh? Sure, I knocked him off. What's the use of kidding around? Yeah, I guess he must have thought a lot of him, 'cause he kept me in there where it was dark, where I'd be scared to death all the time. Really getting even. But I kind of fooled him. I wasn't so scared of Skeeter by this time. I got so I'd sit in the dark there and be waiting for him. And we'd talk about everything in the world. It was funny. People out of history and funny places and stuff, and a lot of things. Skeeter told me he saw a lot of the guys we talked about. Nero and Judas Iscariot. Well, why not? He was dead, wasn't he? And so was they. Oh, but I gotta hurry up with my ghost story, ain't I? That's right. What I was gonna say was, I was sitting there one night, the 23rd it was, day before Christmas Eve, sitting in the dark, and I heard Skeeter coming. Hello, Skeeter.
Hello, Max. How you feel?
Not so hot.
Still thinking about the hot spot, huh?
What else you expect me to think about? I wish they'd hurry up and get it over with. That's what I wish.
It's tomorrow night.
What is?
They burn you.
On Christmas Eve?
Yep.
Honest, Skeeter. How do you know?
I found out.
Oh, God.
Well, don't take it so hard. I'll walk in with you when I take you to the chair. I'll stand right there alongside you.
Will you, Skeeter? Will you, honest?
Sure. Won't do you much good, though.
Why?
I can't keep it from hurting you.
Honest, Skeeter, does it hurt a lot? Or is it all over with pretty quick?
It seemed to me to last 100 years.
Oh, I'm a sucker for pain, Skeeter.
Are you?
Sure. I cut my finger once. I put in there croaked with the pain.
You ain't felt nothing yet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gee, I remember, too, when I busted my leg. My old lady sat up all night holding my hand and me bawling.
This'll feel like 1,000,000 busted legs.
Listen, Skeeter.
What?
Didn't you say George Brown told you it didn't hurt much bumping yourself off?
That's what he said. What?
I was wondering.
Well, I know what I'd do if I was in your place.
Yeah? Would you bump yourself off?
Yeah.
I don't think I got the guts to do it, Skeeter.
It ain't hard. You got a belt. You could get it around your neck and climb up on the bunk and fasten the belt to the bars up above. Then all you got to do is jump off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it would help you out if you did.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, I told you. Kind of punishing yourself, see?
I know. But I can't, Skeeter. I can't. I don't want to die.
Well, it's all right with me. I was just telling you. Believe me, lad, I know what I'm talking about.
Do you, honest, Skeeter? Do you?
Yeah.
I wish I had the guts to do it.
I don't care what you do, Maxie. Only you're going to get burned tomorrow night anyway. And if you want to get out of the most awful pain you ever had, do yourself a good turn at the same time. Well?
I wonder what it feels like.
George Brown said it only hurt for a minute.
He never had much guts. That I remember.
No. Here comes Miller. Going to tell you, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't look very happy.
You what? Can you see in the dark?
Yeah.
Hello, Max.
Hello, Miller.
Want me to turn on the lights?
I don't care.
You getting used to the dark?
Yeah.
Well, I'll turn them on anyway. Well, Max, it's about the end of the string now.
Tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that makes you and me even.
Listen, Max. I wanted to see you knocked off on account of Ambrose Hogan. I
ain't sore, Miller.
Oh, you know.
Yeah. No hard feelings, Miller. It's your job being a copper and mine being a hood.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you want, Maxie?
No, I guess not.
You ain't got no folks.
No.
I could get you a bottle of bourbon if you wanted it.
Nah, what's the use?
Well, you got to get ready to go down to the state prison in a little while. They got the... Well, I mean, that's where you got to go.
Do I have to go today?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, kind of hate to leave this place at that.
Do you?
Yeah. Scared me quite a lot at first, but I guess it's taught me a lot being here in the dark all alone.
Except for me, Max.
Yeah.
Well, Max, listen. Try to take it standing up, will you? You know.
I'll try, Miller. But it's going to be awful tough.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll be back in a little bit and we'll go. Sure there ain't anything you want me to get, Maxie?
No.
All right. Oh. I'm sorry, Max.
Huh? It's okay, Miller. Forget it.
I told you, Max.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta be going. So long, Maxie.
You going, Skeeter?
Yep. I'll see you tomorrow night.
But listen, Skeeter, don't go away now.
I have to. And just in case you decide to do what George Brown did, there's an extra piece of rope under the mattress. You won't have to use your belt. So long.
Well, there you are. That's your ghost story. You believe in ghosts now? You don't? Well, you oughta. You see, I took Skinner's advice. I hung myself. I've been dead 6 months.
All right. You can turn them on now.
You have just heard the third in the summer series of Lights Out. Tonight's story featured Norman Gottschalk as Maxie, Stanley Shule as Skeeter Dempsey, and Roy Engel as Miller. Boris Aplon was heard as the judge, and Nathan Davis was Johnny. Next Saturday night, come 9 o'clock, we've got a story cooked up for you that ought to give you a chill in the hottest weather. Two master magicians, both in the inner cult of Haitian voodooism, lock horns in a titanic struggle which comes to a climax over the Chicago airport. So you'd better make a mental note to be near your radio next Saturday evening. Lights Out is produced and directed by Albert Cruz. This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Torture is my subject this time around. Oh, don't be alarmed. I have no intention of shocking you with unmentionable horrors. For you see, there are all sorts of torments invented by man to bedevil his fellow man, and perhaps the most subtle of these is man's fear of the unknown. We are so constructed, it seems to me, that we can almost always cope with the known, whatever it may be. But when we don't know what lies ahead, what nameless nightmare may await, well, let's illustrate with Todd Stearns and his wife, Tammy.
Todd, what if you told them what they want to know?
It could mean the end of this country, Tammy. It could mean the end of the world.
The world?
The world.
Mr. X mentioned torture, didn't he?
Yes.
Will you be able to stand it?
I think so. Once I know what it is. But Mr. X is clever. He won't tell me. He knows that not knowing, that's the worst torture of all.
Our mystery drama, The Pit and the Pendulum, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic For the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Tony Roberts and Marion Seldes. I'll be back shortly with Act One. It's nothing new to say that men, and women too, have successfully endured the worst of physical pain one can imagine. But mental pain, I'm told, is something else again. Those skilled in the art of extracting information well know that physical force will often succeed, but that mental force will always succeed. Why not employ it at once, then? Because it requires great skill, exquisite subtlety, and is in consequence far more difficult to use. Be all this as it may, such thoughts held little, if any, interest for Todd and Tammy Stearns as they drove in an official government limousine toward the airport of a large city.
You really shouldn't have come to see me off this time, Tammy.
Break my record? I've gone to the airport with you every time you've made one of your mysterious, deep, dark, secret trips. Ever since we were married 4 years ago.
Yeah, but with Jill down with a cold...
Well, I could certainly take care of her for an hour or two. Todd?
Yes?
You're going to be all right, aren't you?
What makes you ask a silly question like that?
It isn't silly, and you know it. These trips you make abroad every now and then. Well, I don't know what they're all about. I've never known.
Because I've never told you, and I never will. The less you know, the better off you'll be.
Well, I'm not asking you to tell me. I know you won't. But it's not knowing that makes me bite my nails till you come safely back home.
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but that's funny.
What?
I don't think we're not. Driver, why did you take the left turn? You're heading away from the airport, not toward it.
Good heavens, Todd, we are at that.
Driver, answer me. Why?
Todd, look. The glass panel's sliding up.
What the devil is it? Driver, what in blazes is going on?
He's just not paying attention. He's not even turning around.
I don't understand. Driver! Damn it!
Looking for a red light, Todd. Let's get out.
And fast. It's locked. Both doors are locked, and I can't open them.
Todd, what does this mean?
I don't like to think what it means, Tammy. But I sure wish you hadn't come along this time.
Oh, come in, Mr. Stearns, come in. Sit down, Mr. Stearns. Make yourself comfortable.
What have you done with my wife?
Oh, she's safe and comfortable. There's nothing for you to worry about, I assure you. Would you care for a drink?
As a matter of fact, I could use one. If it isn't drugged.
Drugged? That's a fanciful idea.
It's no more fanciful than kidnapping me. Who are you? What's this all about?
As to who I am, you can call me Mr. X.
Oh, Mr. X. Come on, you can't be for real. How corny can you get?
It's corny, I admit, but it's also safer. Infinitely safer than any name I might use. You see, X is an unknown quantity. As to what this is all about, well, your drink.
Thanks. What is this all about?
Oh, come now, Mr. Stearns. Todd, if I may. You know what it's about.
I'm afraid not.
You're lying, of course, but... Well, no sense wasting valuable time fencing with each other, so I'll tell you. I represent a group that's in the business of selling top-secret information of one country to another. You're in the business of conveying top-secret information from this country to another. The reason you were kidnapped and brought here was because we want the top secret you were presently on your way to deliver to... well, you know where.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Let's not fence, please. I know that you are on your way abroad with the formula for a new bacterial gas, which would easily tip the balance of power in favor of the country possessing it.
Oh, and my government is willing to hand over a weapon as vital and deadly as this to another government?
It is, and you know why. The pact between the two governments to keep each other informed and thus hopefully to maintain the balance of power.
You know, you've been seeing too many James Bond movies.
Now stop it, Todd. I want the formula. I mean to have it.
Well, you won't get it from me because I haven't got it. As I guess you know, your musclemen searched me thoroughly and found nothing.
I didn't expect they would. I'd have been very surprised, indeed shocked, if you'd been carrying such a formula worth untold millions on your person instead of in your head.
In my head?
Precisely. Todd, I'm authorized to offer you $50,000 for the formula.
For a formula you've just told me can be sold for untold millions?
All right. How much do you want?
It's an academic question, Mr. X, since I don't have the formula.
Would you consider 100,000?
I haven't got the formula you're talking about.
This is a tape recorder. I'm going to leave you here alone for 15 minutes. When I return, I hope you will have been sensible enough to record the formula for me.
Look, I assure you...
Help yourself to the liquor. And, of course, you won't try to escape. As you see, there are no windows and only one door. And please, no more nonsense about your not having the formula. You have it, Todd. You have it as surely as we have your wife. Mrs. Stearns, I see you've been made comfortable.
What have you done with my husband? Where is he?
Now, there's no need to distress yourself, Mrs. Stearns. Tammy, if I may. Todd is presently as safe and as comfortable as you are. Oh, I see that you're drinking tea. Would you like another cup?
What is all this? Why were we brought here? Please.
Calm yourself. I beg you. You're in no danger.
My husband?
Nor is he. He's perfectly safe and unharmed at the moment.
At the moment? What do you mean by that?
Well, nothing more nor less than what I said. But tell me, how much do you know about Todd's affairs? His work, his career, the duties he performs for our government.
Nothing. Except he's an undersecretary. Well, in some department or other. I don't even know that.
That seems rather hard to believe. Married 4 years and you don't even know what department he works for?
No.
You never bothered to ask?
Well, yes.
And?
Todd made plain to me he wouldn't tell me and that I was not to ask.
You love Todd, of course.
Of course.
How much do you love him?
I love him. I can't say more than that.
I think you can. I think you can say a good deal more than that. For instance, do you love him enough to suffer pain for him, a great deal of pain?
What kind of question is that?
Well, just answer it. Well?
But I can't answer it. How would I know how much pain I could stand until I was standing it?
Yeah, you have a point. It'd be interesting, though, wouldn't to find out how much you do love Todd, how much pain you could endure.
I don't know why you're threatening me.
Threatening you, Tammy? No, not at all. Our discussion is purely theoretical, at least at this time.
At least at this time. For the present. Well, you're threatening me even now. You're torturing at me by hinting at... I don't know what.
Well, let's hope there'll be no need for you to find out. Come in now, Miss C. Thank you. Stay here with her. You know what to do with her if I send the signal.
Do what? What are you going to do to me if he sends a signal? Well, answer me. Please. Please answer me. What?
The tape is blank, Todd. You recorded nothing.
There's nothing to record.
Nothing.
If there is a formula such as you speak of, I've never heard of it. Now, why don't you just knock off this nonsense and let me and my wife get out of here?
Simply because there is a formula and you carry it in your head and you are going to dictate it into this machine before I'm through with you and your wife.
Tammy has nothing to do with this.
Hasn't she?
She has only the vaguest idea of what I do at the department, if she has any idea at all. Even if I had memorized a formula, which I haven't, I'd never have told her about it.
And why not?
Why not?
Because your work is precisely what I say it is? Top secret, high security?
No.
Then why wouldn't you tell her? You love her, don't you?
Of course.
Then surely you trust her.
Certainly I trust her.
But not enough to let her know what you do? Oh, you underrate her, Todd. You really do. That woman would do anything for you. Suffer untold pain for you.
What do you mean by that? Suffer untold pain for me?
Well, nothing really. She told me she would, that's all. Oh, what amounted to the same thing. It happened to come up in our talk together.
When did you talk?
Only a few moments ago. I went to see her when I left you. I had a very nice chat with her, very interesting and informative chat.
About how much pain she could stand?
Well, that was only a small part of what we talked about.
Now, listen to me. She knows nothing.
Of course she doesn't. How could she? There's nothing to know, you say.
You harm her. And I warn you, Mr. X, or whatever you are. I warn you.
Todd, stop acting like a fool. Now, you know that you're helpless, and so is she. You also know that in one way or another you're going to give me that formula, so why not give it to me and save us all a lot of trouble, all three of us?
Three of us?
You, me, and Tammy. Now, here's the tape recorder. Begin. Very well. Come along with me, Todd.
Where to?
The cellar. There's something there I want to show you. Something I'm sure will change your mind.
Here we are. So, here we are.
Tell me what you see.
It's a room. It's not a very big room. With aluminum walls. They look like aluminum anyway.
What else?
There's a hole. Big wide hole in the floor.
What else?
Nothing that I can see.
Look up. What do you see now?
Hanging from the ceiling. It's about a foot from the ceiling.
Of what, Todd?
Looks like a headsman's axe. An oversized headsman's axe.
With a very sharp cutting edge. Razor sharp. Note how the light gleams off it. And now there's something more for you to see.
Tammy.
No. You stay here. She stays there, on the other side of the room.
Tammy, are you all right?
Yes, darling. Are you?
Sure.
Now, Todd, two questions. Have you ever heard of a torture called the Pendulum? Yes. And another called the Pit.
Is that the hole in the floor? A wide hole?
The Pit, yes. You have heard of it. You're not going to be sick, are you?
No.
Todd, don't make me subject you to the Pendulum. Especially don't make me subject you to the exquisite torment of the Pit. Above all, don't make me subject Tammy to either.
No, not Tammy.
That depends on you. Now, the formula, Todd. Will you give it to me? Or will you not?
If you were Todd Stearns, what would you do? Come, if you have the imagination I think you have, you are Todd Stearns, or Tammy Stearns. What would be your answer? What would you do? Think about it until I return for Act 2. Curious room in the basement of an isolated country house, Todd and Tammy Stearns face a torture known as the Pit and the Pendulum. Face it, but need not undergo it if Todd will tell Mr. X what he wants to know. Reveal the formula he carries in his head for a new weapon of destruction, a bacterial gas. As Todd gazes across the yawning pit at his lovely wife on the other side, Mr. X repeats,
Once again, Todd, I know it's a difficult decision, but it is one that you must make. Will you give me the formula or not?
I told you I don't have
That's enough. You have the formula. You memorized it. I know that. So no more time-wasting nonsense. Which is it to be? Will you give me the formula without forcing me to torture it out of you, or must I use force?
I have nothing to tell you.
Perhaps if I explain how the pendulum works.
No need for that. I know.
But does Tammy know? Do you, Tammy?
No.
Tammy, look up toward the ceiling. That is a blade, you see, a blade shaped like a big headsman's axe, and it's razor sharp.
Don't listen to him, Tammy. He's trying to frighten you.
Exactly what I'm trying to do, Tammy, for reasons that are quite obvious, I should think. Wouldn't you?
Yes.
No. That large razor-sharp blade, Tammy, is attached to a pendulum that swings back and forth and gets an inch lower on each swing.
An inch lower on each swing?
Yes. And so anyone strapped to that slab on the floor, look down now, Tammy, to the floor. You see the slab with the straps?
Yes.
Anyone strapped to that slab will, in time, be cut in half.
Tammy, don't listen.
Slowly. Cut in half slowly, Tammy.
You wouldn't. But you wouldn't, please. You can't. You won't kill him.
Todd? Oh, gracious, no. He has what I want. I can't kill him unless we reach that perfectly wasteful moment when I have no option but to end this whole scene in death. No thought of killing him. You.
Oh, my God.
Tammy, did you hear me?
I heard you.
Then, my dear, would you try to do what I have failed to do? Convince your husband to give me the formula. Tammy.
How can I convince him if you couldn't?
Todd, have you no imagination whatever? Do you really think that you'll be able to watch Tammy killed before your eyes without breaking? No answer. Your silence could signify several possibilities. One, you're too shocked at the prospect to answer. Two, you could watch while your wife is slowly cut in half in agony, Todd. Three, you couldn't. Now, which, Todd? Possibly even you don't know at this moment. Well, all right, I'll give you time to think it over, to talk it over, both of you. Miss Z, you know where to take Mrs. Stearns. Mr. Stearns and I will join you there shortly.
Todd, I love you.
And I love you, Tammy. I love you.
You love her. We'll see how much very soon now. Very soon.
Tammy, glass of champagne.
No, it would sicken me.
Me too. It just isn't a dinner they've spread before us. It's a gourmet's dream.
Or the condemned's last meal.
Yeah. Darling, we've got to talk this out.
What is it to talk out? You've told me that the secret, the formula that you memorized, if it got into the wrong hands, it could mean the death of millions. And if you give it to Mr. X, it will certainly be in the wrong hands.
I don't know.
Well, what do you mean? The group he represents, they'd sell the formula to the highest bidder. They wouldn't care who, just so that they got their millions.
Well, maybe for once, just for once, I've got to think of us, not the world.
But we are the world.
I know that, too. You're involved now. This character X could torture me to death, and... well, I don't think I'd break. I don't think I would, but... you can't tell till you're going through it. I've known agents who... well, never mind. To face torture myself alone, that's one thing. But to watch you face it... Tammy, I couldn't bear that. Why are you looking at me like that?
You're going to have to bear it, Todd. You can't risk the lives of millions for for one person, no matter how much you love her.
But that's the point I wanted to make. If I give X the formula...
Todd, you're not going to.
It doesn't mean that whoever buys it will use it to control the world. It could simply mean they would have a balance of power with us.
Instead of the government, whichever it is, you won't tell me, that already has a pact with us?
Sweetheart, I am just a courier. I'm not up there with the brass. A pact, well, it's supposed to mean what you think it means, but... Well, sometimes... I don't know. Sometimes I think all it means is that both countries have the same amount of clout and can't rip each other off. How do we get into this?
Because this is what it's all about.
No. What it's all about is you. You getting tortured is what it's about. Tammy, X is going to make me watch you on that slab as the pendulum comes closer, inch by inch. Darling, I won't be able to bear it.
I think you will. I know you will.
You're a lot shorter than I am.
Oh, dear, what a pity. The champagne, the food, you touched nothing.
Who is he?
Oh, a little quirk of mine. He fits in, don't you think? The black suit, the red hood with slits for eyes. Just right for an executioner.
Just right to scare the daylights out of your victims.
Exactly. Tammy, are you scared?
You better know it.
But you needn't be, you know. Not if you have succeeded where I failed. What is Todd's answer now?
You better ask Todd that.
Todd?
No. My answer is still no.
What point in it to undergo agony only to give in finally?
If one gives in.
You think you won't?
But you seem to forget. Todd's the one who has to give in. I don't have the formula, if there is one.
Think now, Tammy, think. You're lying strapped to that slab beneath the pendulum. You cannot move. Scarcely a muscle moves. You're looking up, staring at that great blade. It begins to move. Back and forth. Back and forth. Swinging and coming lower with each swing. Suddenly, time is sped by unaccountably. Suddenly, there it is. The blade within inches of you, now within an inch. Cutting through your dress. Delicately cutting. And now, on the next swing, it is going to slide.
Stop it! Tammy, I can't let you do this.
I didn't think that you could. Bring the tape recorder.
Don't bother.
No?
Tammy!
Todd, this man is a phony. I'll stake my life on it. You're trying to scare Todd into giving you the secret formula. But if your scare fizzles...
I won't go through with this thing. I won't,
Well, I don't think you will.
In that case, finish your champagne, and we'll proceed. Todd, one final chance.
Mr. X, it's senseless.
Makes plenty of sense to me. It would if I were in your shoes. That woman, that lovely, exceptional woman you were lucky enough to marry, lies strapped to the slab. When I give the nod to our red-hooded executioner, he'll press the button that starts the pendulum. Once started, it can't be stopped.
Can't?
No. It goes right on, down, and through. Should you change your mind, it had better not be at the last moment. It had better be in time for the executioner to pull her out from under the blade.
Tammy!
Don't give in, Todd. Don't.
You leave me no choice. I must...
Do it. Damn it. Damn you. Go on and do it.
Very well. I give the nod. It's begun its swing. You see it, Tom? Back and forth. Back and forth. An inch lower with each swing. Here.
That's the microphone to the tape recorder.
Take it. Use it. Tell the formula.
What is he saying to you? What is that I've handed you? The microphone?
Yes. The mic of the tape recorder.
Oh, Todd, don't.
You'll die if I don't.
Then I'll die. I'd rather die. Me than a whole world.
I can't let you. I can't let you.
If you can't let her speak, you've got the mic in your hand. Start talking.
What's left if I do? What's left?
What?
She loves me. If I let her down, if I save her life and lose a million others, she'll hate me. What'll be left to me then?
There are other women.
You, filthy. There are no other women. There's only Tammy. For me. Oh, my dearest, you are right. We've got to go through with this. For them.
I've met fools in my time, but you... It's within inches, 3 at most from her body. Now 2. 1. Cutting the dress now. You see? And the next cut. Talk, you fool. Talk fast.
The Bacterian equation. It's
What is it?
the equation before it's too late. What?
What indeed? A man and a woman, just another man and woman like you, like me, stand ready to sacrifice, or not sacrifice, their own lives for others. Certainly the woman does. The man? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I return for Act 3.
It's Athletes versus MS. We're at Lime Rock Auto Track in Connecticut. Meet Ron Gagne.
I used to race cars, but it takes a lot of coordination and quick response. I had it until MS, multiple sclerosis, attacked my central nervous system.
With Ron Gagne, Paul Newman, actor and fellow race driver, and his racing teammate, Terry Knight.
My teammate Terry and I race against the clock, just like Ron here. We want to beat multiple sclerosis before it beats him. You see, multiple sclerosis doesn't just cripple. So we all have to find a cure before it's too late. Help us get Ron back on the road to good health. Send a check to the MS Society. When you help, we all win.
This message has been brought to you by the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, 205 East 42nd Street, New York City, 10017.
It's Northwest Federal Savings Time. We've got more time for you.
At Northwest Federal, that means more hours, more convenience, and more gifts for savers. Right now, you can choose from 23 fabulous gifts just for saving at Northwest Federal. You'll find a terrific selection from a West Bend skillet to a Sunbeam clock, from an Oster blender to a Black & Decker sander. There are summer fun items, too, like the colorful Beach Bum lounging quilt or the comfy Coleman sleeping bag. Come on in to any Northwest Federal, including their new Skokie Savings Center, to choose your gift. One gift for family free or at greatly reduced prices when you deposit $250 or more. But hurry, offer good for a limited time only. Come see the selection. It's just one more example of how Northwest Federal does more for you.
It's Northwest Federal Savings Time. We've got more time.
I have said that there are all sorts of torture, limitless degrees of mental and physical torment. And of these, mental anguish is worst of all. There are some who can stand physical pain better than mental, and vice versa. Moments ago, we wondered, would Todd Stearns break under the strain of watching the torment of his wife, Tammy? Would Tammy? Well, let's find out.
Todd, what? You fainted.
Fainted? Tammy. I remember now. The pendulum. The blade descending closer and closer, coming through her dress. Is she what? Dead! Damn you, is she dead?
The tape recorder is right there in front of you. Dictate the formula.
Answer me. Is Tammy dead?
Dictate the formula.
No.
You will, if you want the answer to whether your wife is dead or alive.
Oh, no. If she's dead, then at least she's safe from you.
But if she's alive, I see it in your eyes, the agony of not knowing. Dictate.
No.
You got more guts than I thought.
Oh, no. I'm as much a coward as the next man. But you made a mistake. When You left Tammy and me alone together for those few hours.
Oh?
That's a funny thing, but I don't know why. Maybe it was just facing our last hours on Earth together, but we really got to know each other for the first time in our 4 years of marriage.
I made a mistake?
You made a mistake. You're licked. Dead or alive. Tammy licked you, and dead or alive, I won't let her down.
I see. Excuse me. Bring her in.
Tammy. Oh, Tammy, thank God you're alive.
Oh, darling, oh, darling.
Are you all right? You aren't harmed. You're all
No,
right.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
No, you're not. Your hands, I can feel your hands.
No,
They're shaking.
I'll calm down, then I'll be all right.
Not if Todd goes on refusing to give me that formula.
You haven't given it to him.
No.
Oh, I'm so glad, darling. I'm so glad.
Your happiness is doomed to a short life, because I assure you Todd is going to do what I ask.
No, not Todd.
Oh, yes. Let me say that I admire you, both of you. And you have every reason to be proud of this man you married.
Well, I am very.
But he is not a Superman. He has his breaking point, as all men do. I haven't succeeded in reaching that point, that's all. But unless he dictates the formula he carries in his head, I shall take final steps to reach his breaking point, and yours, quickly. Oh, by the way, your little girl, Jill.
What about her?
I thought you'd want to know. Your housekeeper, Anna, sent for the doctor a little while ago.
Why?
Is she worse?
I don't know. All I have is the report that the doctor was sent for.
You dirty rat.
Now, slowly, Todd. Physical violence will get you nowhere.
This is part of your next torture, isn't it? Making us worry about Jill's condition.
And what will become of her should the two of you meet what you possibly may meet? Death. You leave me no choice but to subject you now to the kind of torment I tried to avoid.
Well, there can't be anything worse than the pendulum.
There's the pit. I see that you know something about it.
I don't know anything about it.
Precisely. You've heard of the pit, but it remains an unknown quantity. And it will be that, the simple fact that you don't know what awaits you in the pit, that will break you. Just as not knowing why the doctor was called for your daughter has shaken you. Now, once again, will you give me the formula? Then it's the pit, I'm afraid. Back where we started? Oh, no. The pendulum, you see, is again in place in the ceiling. I will leave you alone now with just the pit. Oh, and, Todd, when you decide that you can't take any more and agree to give me the formula, just say so. You'll be heard.
Oh, I hope Jill's all right.
Don't worry, she is. There's no better doctor than Dr. Lynch.
Yes, but it's the cold's gone into her chest. You know, her chest is weak.
Don't worry. It's just what that louse wants. For all we know, he could be lying. Anna never sent for the doctor.
Oh, you're right. I'm doing just what X wants me to do. I'm worrying myself sick. What are you looking for?
Something to drop down the pit.
Why, what for?
Find out how deep it is. Whether the bottom is solid or filled with water. This wound's as bare as a bone, though.
Here.
Oh, your shoe?
You can buy me another pair when we get out of here.
I'll buy you a dozen pair. Okay. Here it goes. Funny.
I didn't hear a sound. Not a sound.
No splash. No thud of the shoe hitting anything. Nothing. The damn thing can't be bottomless.
It's either that or awfully deep.
That's for sure. Give me your other shoe.
Try again?
Yes. The first sound could have been so slight we didn't pick it up.
Yes.
This time listen carefully. Very carefully. Ready?
Go ahead. I didn't hear a thing.
No. Nothing.
Let's stand back. I don't like being so near the edge.
I don't blame you. I thought of phoning in.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's all right. I feel the same way.
Let's sit down on the floor. Against the wall.
All right. Yes, that's better. Todd?
The
wall feels warm.
a little too warm. Just move away a bit. Better?
Much. I'm sure Jill's going to be all right. I'm just not going to worry about her.
No.
God, that wall's getting hotter.
Well, we'll have to move away from it a little more.
And closer to the pit.
Wait a minute now. You don't think... Here, let me just see how...
Todd!
Burned my hand. The wall's as hot as an oven. Move over to that one.
Well, this one's as hot as the other. It's getting hotter.
So that's it. Don't you see? The hotter the walls get, the farther we have to get from them.
And the closer to the pit until we...
Yeah. Until... Are you all right?
Darn, we're moving closer to the pit.
Can't help it. Heat from the walls. Getting worse.
Hold me. Put your arms around me.
Sweetheart.
Yes. What is down there? We go over the edge. Oh, God, it's less than 2 feet away now. When we go over, what will happen to us? What?
Death, I guess.
How? How will we die?
Try not to move any closer. Try.
Help myself. The heat's unbearable. You're moving closer to the edge, too.
I can't help it either.
Hold me, darling.
Sweetheart. This is it. I guess we... Wait a minute. The heat. It doesn't seem so hot.
Not so. I think you're right. It's cooler. Oh, the room seems cooler. Oh, let's move back.
That won't last long. That creeper's got something else in store for us. But... See? He didn't go through with it. Just as he didn't go through with the pendulum.
No, you fainted.
I don't think he would have gone through with it anyway.
Why not, Todd?
What?
Mr. X, Todd. I can see you and hear you. What's given you the sudden idea that I won't go through with things?
You want the formula.
True.
Well, kill me and the formula dies with me.
True.
Well?
Todd Stern's dead is worth considerable, too. Oh, not as much as the formula, but considerable.
I don't see why.
Very simple. It's worth a great deal for a certain government to prevent another from getting the formula. Keeps the balance of power unbalanced, you see. And now that we've settled that, do you still refuse to change your mind?
Yes.
Todd, I'm sorry to say that this time, I believe you.
Wait a minute. Tammy has no part in this now. You used her to break me down. You failed. What you used for her is over. Let her go.
He hasn't heard you. Or if he did, he said his final word. And I wouldn't want out anyhow. If you die, I want to be dead too.
But it's senseless. Pointless. I'm the one who has the formula, not you. There's no point in killing you if I... What's that?
What is it?
Machinery of some kind. I don't know what it's for. Yes, I do.
God, what?
The walls. Look at the walls.
It's moving. All 4 of them. Moving inward.
Making the room narrower. And narrower until...
There'll be no space, no floor space left.
Nothing but the pit.
Oh, Lord.
X, listen to me. Let Tammy go. I beg you, let her go.
The pit. The wall. Pushing us to it. Oh, let me out. Let me out.
Tammy.
I can't bear anymore. I can't bear.
You won't have to bear any more now.
champagne, Tanny?
No.
Todd? What I want is an explanation of all this, and you better make it a good one, Mr. What is your name?
X will do.
But now we know it was all a test or a game or whatever it was.
I must still keep my cover. Look, I don't blame you for being angry. Simply put, we subjected you to a test to see how much you could take before you broke down. All operatives, couriers, are put through the ringer.
I never was before. I never even heard of it before.
Never would have if you hadn't reached that point in your career where we felt that you were ready. The formula you so painstakingly memorized, Todd, is worthless. There's no such thing as that bacterial weapon.
Oh, no.
But if there were, and you were caught by the kind of group I pretended to represent, we had to be sure that you'd never break, never reveal it.
And risk blowing my mind. Tammy.
No. You were never in any danger of that. From start to finish, you were carefully monitored by staff psychiatrists. We'd have known instantly if you were in any serious difficulty.
Well, I guess you'll have to do it.
Yes, we do.
Tell me something. What did we fall on? I mean, when I went over, holding Tammy in my arms.
Special foam rubber. Dozens of layers of the stuff. You could have dropped an iron safe down that hole, much less Tammy's shoes, and you'd have heard nothing. Now then, it's over. You can relax and unwind. What's more, Todd, you have gained something that you didn't have before. You've learned how much you can take. And, mister, you can take it.
I learned something a lot more important than that, if you ask me.
What would that be, Todd?
I learned... Tammy, I always thought you were pretty wonderful, but you're more than that. You're the most wonderful woman and wife in the world.
Truth is stranger than fiction. And if you feel the story I've just brought you is one of the strangest you've ever heard, I can only assure you that even stranger things go on in this world of ours. Stranger and, yes, more terrifying. Let's hope you never find yourself involved with any of them. Beyond your radio, that is. I'll be back shortly.
Here's a message from your Kidney Foundation.
Have you ever stood in line, my friend? Not for hours, but for years on end. Not waiting for a ticket for a show you want to see, but just for the chance to live life normally. Waiting for the gift of life. Pass it on, pass it on. Give the gift of life. Pass it on, pass it on. Somewhere someone depends on you. Give the gift of life and help someone who depends on you by becoming an organ donor. You can sign a special line on your driver's license or get an organ donor card from your Kidney Foundation. A moment to sign could mean a lifetime to others. Remember, we're talking about life. Pass it on, pass it on. Give the gift of life. Pass it on, pass it on. Somewhere someone depends on you.
Version of The Pit and the Pendulum was only based on Edgar Allan Poe's story, it's to this great master of the bizarre and this connoisseur of the horrifying that we owe the story's, shall we say, electrifying moments. I hope you were properly shocked. Our cast included Tony Roberts, Marion Seldes, and Norman Rose. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Preview of our next tale.
Oh, no, George. He's going to pay for that.
Look, the Roscommon property can be developed into a major all-year resort. Will and we have the know-how. We can do it. All we'll need is the money due on the option.
The answer is no.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Marion and Jim Jordan as Fibber, McGee, and Molly with Donald Novis, Bill Thompson, and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Life Begins When You're in Love. Are the colors of your kitchen linoleum as bright and fresh as the day you first picked it out, or have they become dull and faded? Do you know the easy way to keep the colors of linoleum bright and cheerful? The answer, with Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat. Glow Coat turns a dull, lifeless floor into a beautiful floor in 20 minutes. It requires no rubbing or buffing. That's why it's called self-polishing. And that's just one of the reasons why Glow Coat has become America's #1 floor polish. You can use Glow Coat on your varnished or painted wood floors, too. It gives a hard, gleaming polish that's easy to keep clean and spotless. If you spill something on a floor protected with Glow Coat, you simply mop it up with a damp cloth. Now, if you aren't using Glow Coat on your linoleum floors, order some tomorrow from your dealer. Remember the name GLO-COAT. Johnson Self-Polishing Glow Coat. There's a gay Halloween party in progress tonight, given by the McGee's next-door neighbors, the Throckmorton P. Gildersleeves. And among the guests, we find many names from Wistful Vista's Blue Book, plus 2 names from Wistful Vista's telephone book, Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Oh, it's quite a party, ain't it, Molly?
Oh, it certainly is, McGee. But stop blowing cigar smoke in my face, dearie.
Oh, excuse me. I thought you'd like it. This is one of the best cigars.
Oh, there, McGee. Hello, Mrs. McGee. Mighty glad you could come over tonight.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. It's a lovely party.
I'll have to hand it to you, Gildersleeve, for thinking up clever games to play.
Clever games?
Yeah, like hiding the cigars. How'd you ever think of hiding them in the bottom drawer of your dresser?
Why, McGee, you had no business snooping in Mr. Gildersleeve's dresser.
Oh, that's quite all right, folks. Always glad to have the guests make themselves at home.
That's what I figured.
If you'd like to check over my last bank statement, McGee, you'll find it in the desk in the library.
You must be mistaken, Gildersleeve. I didn't see it, and I went all through that desk when I was looking for the cigars.
Heavenly days, McGee, don't be so snoopy.
Hi, Snoopy, I'm just alert. Incidentally, Gildersleeve, there's a letter on your desk from your tailor. You mean to tell me you pay $85 for them suits of yours?
Why, yes, I do, McGee.
My goodness, McGee buys 4 of them for that price, don't you, dear?
Is that so?
Oh, sure.
You mean he buys his clothes?
What?
Well, if you'll excuse me, folks, I'll see how the other guests are getting along. Have a good time.
What does he mean, do I buy my clothes? Where does he think I get them?
Well, if you get him where I think he thinks you get him, I think you'll think twice about asking.
You mean you think I don't get
Well, hello there, Molly. Hello, Fibber. Gee, we're having fun.
What are you doing, Mr. Wilcox?
All playing games. Come on in the other room. Boomer's going to do some sleight-of-hand tricks.
Oh, where? Come on, McGee.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for my first astounding bit of wizardry, I take this $5 bill. Don't seem to have a $5 bill. Will someone from the group pass me a $5 bill?
Why a $5 bill, Boomer? Can't you do it with a 1?
Certainly not. 5 is a magical number. 5 pennies and a nickel, 5 nickels and a quarter, and 5 quarters in a dollar and a quarter. Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. Thank you, sucker. Now, watch me closely. Presto, abracadabra, zingo, and the bill has disappeared. Entirely without the use of mirrors or concealed wires. Thank you.
That's very good.
Oh, now, quiet, please. Now, with another simple twist of the wrist, I might say a slight pang of regret, I will restore the $5 bill. Presto, abracadabra, zingo. And here, well, must have made a slip somewhere. Can't seem to bring it back.
Oh, no, you don't, Boomer. Fork over that fin.
Come, uncouth. Surely you're not accusing Horatio K. Boomer of chicanery. Have your $5 right here someplace. Now, where can I put that $5 bill? Let me look through my pocket.
That guy's so light-fingered he has to stick his hands under an anvil to get a manicure.
And they better keep an eye on the anvil, too.
Now, let me see. $5 bill, $5 bill. Where can I put that $5 bill? Ah, here it is. No, it isn't either. That's a photograph of my cousin Guernsey Boomer.
Good heavens, bow-legged, isn't he?
Not naturally, my dear, but he's been ridden out of town on a rail so often his knees have lost touch with each other. Now, let me see. Here's an advertisement for asbestos seat covers. Very handy for driving hot cars. Package of corn remover. Here, give some to your scriptwriter. Postcard from Minnie the Moocher. Ha-ha, the dear girl. Says she's now a facial masseuse in Texas. The little panhandler. Small bottle of mint sauce in case I want to take it on the lamb. A check for a short beer. Well, imagine that. An old $5 bill. Wonder if it could have blown out the window. I'll blow out the door and see.
Phonograph that plays both sides of 12 records without stopping?
Yeah, wonderful, ain't it?
Wonderful. Why, it's almost human.
I'll say it is. Just out of curiosity, I dropped a sleeping tablet in the needle box, and it's been playing A Man in His Dream for 20 minutes.
Well, hello there, Johnny. Hello, daughter. Quite a party, ain't it?
Yes, it certainly is, Mr. Oldtimer.
He says, yes, it is. People go to parties for the same reason bald-headed guys go to burlesque shows. They at least have the illusion of letting their hair down.
That's pretty good, Johnny, but that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, the president's secretary said to him, "Say, Mr. Roosevelt," he says, "I haven't seen you made any appointments for next week." "Nope," says Mr. Roosevelt. "I thought I'd do my Christmas shopping early." Well, I gotta go in the other room, Johnny. They're bobbing for apples, and I gotta get my girl out of there. She's a pippin'.
Well, the old coot's on a hoot, ain't he, Molly? If he was there...
Ah, there, folks. How's everything going?
Oh, just fine, Mr. Gildersleeve.
By the way, when do we eat, Rocky?
Well, we're serving a buffet supper a little later.
Hot dog, you hear that, Molly? A buffet supper.
Oh, that's McGee's favorite kind of a meal, Mr. Gildersleeve. Yeah? He goes around the buffet table like sea biscuit on a fast track.
Well, that's fine, yes. Or is it? But before we have dinner, folks, we're going to have a little more fun. Mrs. Uppington's going to tell somebody's fortune. Oh, yes, they're drawing names in the other room now to see who the lucky man is. Huh? Say, it looks like you're it, McGee. Oh, this should be very amusing.
Yes. It's the first party we ever went to where McGee stuck out his hand instead of his neck.
Oh, here he is, folks.
There you are, Mr. McGee. I hope you don't mind having your fortune told.
I just know, Uppy. As the chicken says when he busted out of the egg, I guess the future is worth taking a peep at. Which hand do you want to read?
Well, that depends, Mr. McGee. Are you right or left-handed?
Well, I think he's left-handed. He reached for the lunch check with his right hand today and fumbled terribly.
Well, then give me your left hand, Mr. McGee.
Okay, here you are. Paw, meet Mrs. Uppington. Mrs. Uppington, my paw.
How do you do? I'm very glad. Oh, my, that was a joke, wasn't it? Now, wait till I put on my glasses. I didn't have them on the last time I told a man's fortune, and I was horribly embarrassed, you know. Why, Mrs. Uppington? Oh, my dear. He had pigskin gloves on, and I told him I could see him lying on a plate with 2 fried eggs and a piece of toast.
Well, get busy, Uppy. Tell me, pretty gypsy.
Oh, very well. Now, first we come to the matter of intelligence.
Oh, we do, eh? Get a load of this, folks.
The intelligence is indicated by small mounds at the base of the fingers.
What mounds? I ain't got any mounds. Oh.
And now, this line, this is a lifeline.
Well, throw it out. I'm going down for the 3rd time.
Your lifeline tells me that... Oh, good heavens. What, Mrs. Uppington? Oh, Mrs. McGee, I regret to inform you that your husband has been dead for 12 years.
Very good, Abigail, very good. Well, folks, we have time for a couple more games before supper is served. Have you any suggestions?
Yes, don't stop it. You know, I think it'd be fun if we turned out the lights and told ghosts.
Oh, hey, that's fine. That's a splendid idea. Everybody sit down, folks. I'll turn out the lights.
Want me to tell the first ghost story, folks?
Say, what do you know about telling ghost stories, dearie?
Who, me? Why, shucks, I've been an expert on ghost stories ever since I was a kid. Used to give myself the creeps before I could walk. I made quite a study of ghost stories. Got those every time I'd walk into somebody's yard. Folks would shake their heads and look grave. Graveyard McGee, I was known as. Graveyard McGee, the gloomiest guy that ever gave goose flesh to a gay gathering with McGorry and Goose and Goblin gabbling, getting guys' goats with great gobs of ghastly goings-on, galvanizing groups of gaping greenhorns with garrulous and graphic gibberish, and garnering the greatest bag of groaning ghosts from the gusty gales of the Greenland Sea to the giddy... Ow! Who's thinking me?
McGee, if you know so much about ghost stories, you go ahead and tell one.
Okay, well, I'm thinking.
Hey, I know one. Shall I tell it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it happened one night when I was driving through the swamps of Louisiana, when suddenly my engine went dead. And there I was stranded miles from nowhere, and a storm coming up. I had to find shelter somewhere, so I walked up the road to a deserted-looking, ramshackle old house. But before I could knock, the door swung slowly open. What's that?
Excuse me, folks. My foot was asleep and I was straightening out my legs. Go ahead, Johnny.
Well, as soon as my eyes got used to the darkness, I heard a hollow voice say, "Where's my head?"
Mr. Wilcox, weren't you horribly perturbed?
Was I? My nerves were waving back and forth like windshield wipers. But I took myself in hand and I said, "I'm sorry, buddy, but I haven't got your head. Where'd you lose it?" And the ghost said, "Right in this house. I came home one day, and when I saw the kitchen floor looking so dull and dingy, streaked and worn, I flew into rage."
Oh, sure.
I lost my head and bawled my wife out something terrible. Gee, I wish I hadn't done it, because I know now what I should have done. But by that time, I had the door open again, and I ran like the dickens.
Well, what was the point of that story, Mr. Wilcox?
Well, the point is that if you're haunted by the appearance of dull, faded, hard-to-clean linoleum floors, just try Johnson's Glow Coat. The no-rubbing, no-buffing floor polish that's so easy to use and keeps linoleum looking new indefinitely. And not only that...
Okay. You've pulled the plug, now get out of the tub. Turn the lights on, somebody.
Just a moment, folks. I think supper's ready, so if you want to step into the dining room...
Well, come on
on, McGee. What are you waiting for? You go ahead, Molly. I'll be in later. I got something I want to do. A kind of Halloween gag. Don't say anything to anybody. Now, I'll be back in a little while. Boy, it's dark out here. I'd like to see Gildersleeve's face tomorrow when he looks in his garage. Oh! Hey, get away from me! Who's there? Who's that?
Yeah, I bet I scared you, didn't I?
Oh, there, little girl. It's so dark out here, I didn't see you. What you doing? I says, what you doing?
Playing Halloween.
Oh.
Gee, have I been having the fun, too. Tipping over garbage cans and soap and windows and scaring people and everything.
Oh, you have, eh?
Yeah.
Well, this is the night for it, sis. Incidentally, you know the difference between a ghost and a sailor with a sprained ankle?
No.
Oh, one's a hobgoblin and the other's a gobhoblin. I says one is a Oh, never mind. You run along and have your fun, sis. I got some private business to attend to.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Never you mind now.
I bet you're gonna ring somebody's doorbell, I bet you.
Oh, no, I ain't.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, no, I ain't.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Listen, sis. You run along and have your fun, and I'll go and have mine.
Oh, why don't you let me go with you, Please, why won't you,
Dad, at it because I can't let you. Don't talk so loud, sis. Now, listen, you know whose garage this is?
Yeah. It's Mr. Gildersleeve, I bet you.
That's right, and I'm Mr. McGee. I live right next door here.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a Halloween trick on Mr. Gildersleeve. We don't want him to hear. Now, look, I'm going to sneak into Gildersleeve's garage and let all the air out of his tires. Will that be a panic or won't it?
Will it?
Why, sure it will. Boy, when old Gildersleeve comes out in the morning and... Quiet, sis. Now, don't make so much noise.
Gee, you're making all the noise, I bet you.
Well, come on now. If you want to be in on this, help me push this garage door open.
Gee, always having a fun.
I wish it wasn't so dark in here, but I don't dare strike a light. Now, look, sis. You let the air out of the tires on that side, and I'll do the same on this side. You know how to let the air out?
Sure. I let the air out of 5 cars already tonight, I bet you.
Okay, go ahead.
Gee, isn't this a dandy idea, mister?
I thought it was pretty good myself, sis. But don't you ever tell him.
Hey, mister, the tires are flat on this side.
Okay, same here now, sis. Now, remember, this is a secret between you and me.
Yeah.
I got to get back to the party now.
Okay. Do you know any more riddles, mister?
Huh? No, I don't know any more riddles.
I do.
Huh?
What's the difference between a peanut butter sandwich and a policeman?
Peanut butter sandwich and a policeman. I'm sorry, sis. I'm afraid I don't know the difference between a peanut butter sandwich and a policeman.
Honest?
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's your tough luck then, mister, because here comes the policeman now.
Hey, what? Hey, let me out of here.
Folks, Donald Novus sings With a Song in My Heart. With a song in my heart, I behold your adorable face. Just a song at the start, but it soon is a hymn to your grace. When the music swells, I am touching your hand. It tells that you're standing near. And at the sound of your voice, heaven opens its portals to me. Can I help but rejoice that a song such as ours came to be? But I always knew I would live life through with a song in my heart for you. But I always knew I would
I'm sorry you folks have to leave so early, but I'm mighty glad you could come over.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. My, it's been a simply marvelous party.
You betcha, Throcky, old man. You sure know how to throw a party.
Oh, it was lovely. Say good night to Mrs. Gildersleeve for me.
Yeah, me too, Gildersleeve. She's a wonderful cook, that wife of yours. Tell her how we had a terrific time tonight.
I certainly will. I'm sorry she was so busy in the kitchen she couldn't meet any of you folks. But you must come over again sometime.
Oh, could I have my chauffeur drop you somewhere, Mr. McGee? Oh, no, thank you, Mrs. Uppington. We just live next door. Well, good night. We've had a wonderful time, Mr. Gildersleeve. Good night.
Good night, Gildersleeve.
Good night, Mr. McGee. Good night, Fibber.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Boy, what a lousy party.
Heavenly days. Whoever told them they knew how to entertain?
Yeah. Old Gildersleeve and his expensive cigars. Look at him. Dry as a bone. All 10 of them.
Well, I'm going right up to bed, dearie. I'm tired.
Yeah, well, I'm coming up, too.
My goodness, I hope I don't have bad dreams from that terrible food. Did you taste those hors d'oeuvres, McGee?
Oh, they look tempting to me. McCarthy. Imagine that. Imagine old Lady Uppington trying to tell fortunes. I think I'll get her a crystal 8-ball for Christmas.
Now, don't drop your shoes there on the floor, right where somebody will stumble over them.
Oh, well, they're on my side of the bed. I'll be the one to stumble over them.
Hand me my cold cream, dearie.
Okay.
Thanks. Did you notice the cheap towels in the bathroom? They were like limp sandpaper.
Yeah, sure. Hey, you scare me with all that cold cream on your face, Molly. Why didn't you wear that mask to the party? Imagine them old fogies playing post office at their age. There ain't one of them with sufficient postage. What time will I set the clock for?
Oh, not too early, dearie. I'll want to sleep a while in the morning.
Yeah, me too, after a night like that.
That ghost story of Mr. Wilcox.
Yeah.
I'll bet the sponsor haunts him.
The way those people ate. You see the old-timer? He was chasing the ham around like an actor's agent. Hey, this underwear don't fit as good as it did a few years ago, Molly.
It doesn't?
Getting a little snug around the ankles. Where's my pajamas? Oh, here they are.
Hang up your pants.
Oh, I'll hang them up in the morning. Oh, baby, does this bed feel good to Papa? Oh, say, remind me to tell you sometime about the trick I pulled on Gildersleeve tonight, Molly. It was a peach. What a party that was. Oh, good night, Molly.
Good night, dearie. Oh, I wonder who that is at this time of night. 79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Who? Oh, yes. Oh, well, that was real thoughtful of you. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, we had a simply wonderful time. Yes. Good night. McGee, that was Mr. Gildersleeve.
What'd that stuffed shirt want?
Well, he really did you a favor.
Hmm?
He said he forgot to tell you while you were over there.
Forgot to tell me what?
Well, his car was downtown being repaired, and he saw ours standing in the alley, and he was afraid the Halloween pranksters would hurt it, so he put it in his own garage.
That was nice of him. Baby ain't such a bad... What?
I let the air out of my own car.
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment. Look down at your floors for a moment. Is there anything in your entire home that gets such hard wear? No wonder they need wax protection. No floor finish like a varnish, shellac, or paint can stand up forever against the constant attack of scuffing and scraping shoes and sharp heels. These finishes themselves need the protection of a tough material that can be quickly and easily renewed. And that material is Johnson's Wax. Certain floor areas, such as halls and around doorways, get more wear than others. With Johnson's Wax, these traffic areas can be touched up and re-waxed without waxing the entire floor. In addition to providing this money-saving protection, Johnson's Wax gives you rich, mellow, beautiful floors that add charm to your entire home. With every application, this beauty increases while your housework decreases, because waxed floors never need scrubbing, and they're easiest of all floors to keep clean. Ask your dealer for genuine Johnson's Wax, paste or liquid, in the familiar red and yellow package.
We didn't really feel that way about Gildersleeve's party. We just wanted to give you an idea of what we think happens after one of our parties. Incidentally, Molly, there's one game we didn't play over there tonight.
What was that, Billy?
Pin the tail on the elephant.
You mean on the donkey?
Oh, no, Gildersleeve's a Republican.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, Racine, Wisconsin, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night at this same time. Good night.
Heard on the program tonight were Are You Having Any Fun from George White's Scandals and Ding Dong the Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Aldrich Family, written by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra Stone.
Henry Aldrich. Coming, Mother.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, scarcely a day passes that doesn't bring us a letter from some housewife praising Jell-O butterscotch pudding. Many of these letters read somewhat as follows. I've tried just about every ready-prepared pudding on the market, and Jell-O butterscotch pudding is the one for me. Other letters, of course, speak of how easy Jell-O butterscotch pudding is to make, because you simply add milk, cook for a few minutes, and cool. And still other letters tell us how grateful housewives are for the many ways you can serve Jell-O butterscotch pudding. But the big point is its flavor, the warm, buttery, brown sugar flavor of creamy, golden butterscotch. Just the way you like it, full of rich, homemade goodness. Yes, friends, you like Jell-O butterscotch pudding a lot, so just try it. And let your own taste tell you why Jell-O butterscotch pudding is the pudding that thousands call the best of all. If your doorbell rings tonight, and you answer it and find no one there, you remember that this is Halloween, and that you, too, were a youngster yourself. And you might suspect Henry Aldrich of having something to do with the prank, because he's a real boy from your own neighborhood. Tonight we find Henry in the Aldrich living room with his friend, Toby.
Gee whiz, am I bored.
Same here, Henry.
How could a thing like this happen, Toby? It's Halloween and the two of us are dead broke.
Gee, I thought I'd never live to see a thing like this happen.
Wouldn't you think, Toby, that there'd be at least one thing a person could do on Halloween without its costing money?
That's what you'd think. How about going over and getting even with Mr. Tarbell for what he did a year ago?
How?
Well, we could think of something. I'll tell you what. If we could get his front steps loose from the porch, we could hide them.
No, Toby.
But, Henry, then when he comes out and starts to go down the steps, you'll wonder where they are.
Who will wonder where what is?
Oh, is that you, Father?
You are not going to touch anyone's front steps.
How did you know about that?
I'm psychic. Halloween or no Halloween, you boys are not to touch any private property.
Henry, are you in the living room?
Yes, Mother. Gee whiz, Father. Toby and I don't want to just sit around and look at each other all evening.
How would you like to have me make some candy?
Mother, candy. Everybody else is out doing things, and we sit home and make candy.
Well, if you'd planned ahead, you'd have enough money to go to a dance.
I did plan ahead. I told you several weeks ago that my allowance isn't adequate.
Yes.
Henry, what do you say we get our hats and go out for a little stroll?
All right.
You aren't going to play any practical jokes on anyone, are you?
Oh, no, Mr. Aldrich. We're just going out for the fresh air.
And maybe ring one or two doorbells.
Henry, you're not going to ring any doorbells.
But, Mother, what harm can come from innocently ringing just one doorbell? That's rung 50 million times in the year anyway.
Because most people don't like it.
Henry, the minute you begin to trespass, you're liable to run into trouble.
Father, name one thing that could happen from sticking a pin into a doorbell. Aside from the fact that it's going to ring for a while.
I'm not going to argue.
Toby, I don't think I'll go out.
No?
All year. Ever since way back, I've been looking forward to tonight. And now it's here, and I can't even stick a pin in a doorbell.
Sam, if Henry didn't actually stick a pin in it, couldn't he ring just one bell?
It's entirely up to you, Alice.
All we do is ring it and run, Father.
Don't look at me, son. I'm only your father.
I don't see what fun there could be in it.
At least my whole year wouldn't be ruined.
Well, could you ring a bell where no one is home?
Mother.
All right, if it'll make you any happier, go out and ring one bell.
We can, Father? We can? Toby, come on.
Okay.
I don't see what fun you'll get from it.
At least we can say we've done it.
Henry, I've got an idea.
What?
My folks didn't say I couldn't ring more than one. I'll tell you. I'll do the ringing and you do the running.
Okay, let's ring Mr. Edwards' bell first.
Are you out there on the porch without any hat on?
I am. I was just out to look at the car. Someone has taken the battery out of it.
Who do you suppose could have done a thing like that?
Oh, some Halloween hoodlum. I tell you, Phoebe, this town has reached a nice state of affairs.
Well, come in and close the door before you catch pneumonia.
Do you know what I think I'll do? I'll just wait inside the door and see whether anyone comes back. I'll get my cane, too. The next boy that comes up on this porch is going to get the tanning of his life.
Yes, dear.
Toby.
What?
He's going in. Come on up on the porch.
What were they talking about, Henry?
Search me?
Let's write a note and pin it to the door.
Okay, got a pencil?
No, here's my fountain pen.
Listen, Toby, let's just ring the bell and run.
Let me ring it.
No, Toby, this is the only one I can ring.
You can ring the next one.
No, besides, Mr. Edwards was my idea. Here we go, Toby. I'm going to ring it.
Do you hear anyone coming?
No, I better ring it again.
Well, Phoebe!
Somebody's coming. Run, Toby, run.
I am.
Stop there, stop!
Oh, John!
Quick, Toby, duck around the side of the house here.
I'm with you, Henry.
Stop! You hear me?
Stop nothing. Oh, boy.
What was that?
I'm all right. I just knocked over an ash can. Come on.
Duck back here through this grave arbor.
There goes Mr. Edwards over it. Toby.
That'll help.
If I catch you, I'll time you both.
Come on out through these trees, Toby.
If he catches you, Henry, don't give your right name.
Whose name should I give?
Take one up. What was that?
That was Mrs. Edwards. Look, Toby, here's a hole or something we can hide in.
Yeah, where?
Right here in the ground. Oh, gee whiz, wait, Toby.
What's the matter?
It's an old well.
Well, this is a nice time to tell me.
What's the matter?
I dropped my fountain pen in it.
Shh, Toby, he's coming.
Toward us?
He went right on.
Boy, that was close.
Let's beat it, Toby, and get out of here.
But, Henry, I dropped my fountain pen.
That's so important.
My mother just bought it for me. Gee whiz, I can't go home without my fountain pen, Henry.
How are we going to get it? It's way down at the bottom of the well.
Well, there's an old chain here. It's hanging right straight down.
Is it fastened here at the top?
Sure, right to this piece of iron. Wait a second, I'll roll up my trousers.
You better take them off, Toby, then you won't get them wet.
Sure, and hold my coat, too.
John? John?
Yes, what is it?
Did you find them?
No, not yet.
Toby.
Did you look in the shed out beyond the well?
I'm just coming from there.
Well, come back in the house then.
All I can say is they must have disappeared right into the ground.
It's okay, Toby. You can go down now.
Look out while I go over the edge.
Are you sure you can get up again?
Why not? All I have to do is hang onto this chain and climb right up the side. So long, Henry.
Hang on. Hang on tight, old boy.
Gee whiz.
What's the matter? Toby, what's the matter?
There's something tied partway down on the chain.
What is it?
It's an automobile battery.
A battery? What's it doing down there?
How should I know? And the chain ends right here.
It does? Can you jump the rest of the way?
What do you mean, jump? It's so dark down here I wouldn't know when I got to the bottom.
Oh, here's the trouble. It's up here. Some of the slack is hooked onto a bolt. I'll see whether I can loosen it.
Let it out easy, Henry.
Don't worry, Toby. You don't think I'd let you fall, do you? Toby. Oh, Toby. Toby, where are you?
I thought you were my friend.
I couldn't help it. Toby, can you float?
How can you float in 4 inches of water?
Well, gee, get your pen and come on up.
You're crazy. There's nothing to take a hold of.
Stand on the battery and reach.
I can't.
Well, gee, Toby, I'll have to get you out somehow. I wonder whether I can find a ladder anyplace.
Ask Mr. Edwards whether he has one.
Sure. Do you think I'm crazy, Toby?
Well, hurry up and get a ladder someplace.
Look, there's the lid to the well up here.
Well, what about it?
Do you want me to put it over the top so you won't get cold?
No, just get me a ladder.
What, do you want your pants and coat?
Just throw down my coat.
Okay, here it comes. I'll get the ladder that's in our garage, Toby, and if anybody speaks to you, don't answer.
Sam, has Henry come in yet?
Not yet.
It seems as though it's taking him an awfully long time to ring one doorbell.
Do you realize, Alice, this is the first Halloween no one has bothered us?
I certainly do. Did you put all the ash cans in?
I put them in the basement.
What was that?
Something out and back.
Sam, it sounds like one of the garage doors.
You suppose anyone's getting in there?
Listen, dear.
Come with me.
Where?
Let's go out to the kitchen and look through the window.
Is the kitchen light on?
No. No one can see us.
Sam, someone is in the garage.
Stand back from the window.
Can you see them?
Alice, someone is coming out of the garage with our big ladder.
Sam, Aldrich, I think that's the limit.
I'm going down the cellar stairs here and slip out to the basement door.
Well, why not go out the back door?
This way I can head him off in the driveway.
Shall I turn the light on?
No, don't turn the light on. I can see quite all right.
Sam, what have you done?
I forgot I put the ash cans down here.
Well, my goodness, dear, are the ashes all over my cellar floor?
Yes, and so am I. Turn on the light.
Sam, you better come back up here and get your hat and coat.
You want whoever it is to get away?
Is that ladder more important than your health? Now come back up here.
But, Alice, he's already gone out toward the street.
In a town this size, Sam, you can certainly track down someone with a ladder.
You say the battery was taken right out of your car, Mr. Edwards?
Yes, officer.
But you didn't see anyone?
Not until a few minutes later. 2 boys come up on the porch and rang the bell, and I chased them right around here through the grape arbor.
Were they carrying the battery?
Well, I couldn't say.
Well, whoever stole it is going to be apprehended and punished. The young fellows here have got to respect private property.
Oh, they don't stop at anything. I even found a pair of somebody's trousers back here. You better take them down to headquarters. Why? Hey, 1 minute.
What's up?
Stand back there under this tree. You see out there toward the street?
Somebody coming?
Somebody with a ladder. He's coming right this way.
All right, no. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. And when he passes, I'll nab him. Just a minute there, young man.
Oh, gee whiz, who said that?
1 minute, I said.
Yes, sir. So was there something you wanted?
Where did you get that ladder?
At home.
I asked you, where did you get it?
I brought it from home. Sure, I did. I give you my word, I did.
Oh, so we're going to have trouble with you. Where's the battery?
The battery? What battery?
The battery that disappeared from my car.
I haven't even seen any battery.
What's your name?
Why,
What is it?
It's, Harry.
Harry what?
Harry Ambrose.
Where are you taking that ladder?
Well, not any place in particular. I just happened to be carrying it with me.
Just giving it an airing, eh? Taking it out for a walk.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Edwards, what do you think we ought to do with him?
It's 90 days for larceny, isn't it, officer?
90 days in jail for taking my own father's ladder?
That's what it is.
But I've got a friend, see, and
I see, and he has the battery.
No, sir, he's in a terrible predicament.
Where is he?
Where is he? I don't know. I'm looking for him.
Oh, you're just going around with a ladder looking for a friend.
Oh, I know that seems hard to believe, officer, but that's what I'm doing.
Well, suppose you leave that ladder here.
But I'll get the deuce if I don't take it back home.
And you'll get 90 days, Harry Ambrose, if you don't put it down.
Yes, sir.
Now get home with you. Should have been in bed an hour ago.
Yes, sir, only I don't know what my friend will do without me.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this being Halloween, I'd like to tell you a ghost story. The story of Edgar the Gloomy Ghost. Edgar, it seems, was very fond of nice desserts at dinner. But his wife, Phyllis the Phantom, kept serving him just ordinary desserts. As a result, Edgar went around moaning and groaning like this. Ooh. Oh! Then one day, Edgar's wife bought some Jell-O vanilla pudding at the ghostery store. And now Edgar is just as cheerful as can be. No longer does he go around moaning. Now he has a warm, likable laugh like this. So, you see, just in case Edgar might drop in, ladies and gentlemen, always keep Jell-O vanilla pudding on hand. It's brimful of tempting flavor, as smooth as rich cream, and extra good when garnished with nuts, marshmallows, or fruits. My own favorite is Jell-O vanilla pudding with sliced bananas. But served any way at all, it's grand. Order this delightful, ready-prepared dessert and start right away to enjoy the luscious flavor of Jell-O vanilla pudding. Now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. It being Halloween, Henry and his friend Toby set out to ring just one doorbell and come home. However, one thing leads to another until Toby was left stranded at the bottom of a well, and Henry is attempting to rescue it.
Good evening. Oh, is that you out there, Henry Aldrich?
Good evening, Mrs. Lockridge. Could I borrow a real strong rope from you?
A real strong what, dear?
A rope. I need about 15 feet of very strong rope.
Oh, would a piece of clothesline help any?
No, ma'am. I have a friend that's in a well.
Well, that's quite a Halloween joke, isn't it?
No, ma'am. I'm trying to get my friend out.
Well, how did he get in it?
He was looking for his fountain pen.
Well, why don't you try one of the other houses in the neighborhood?
I have, but every doorbell I've rung so far, the people chased me.
You don't say so.
Yes, ma'am. That's how I got all wet like this.
Goodness gracious, how did you get that wet?
They poured a bucket of water on me from the second floor window.
Well, come to think of it, Henry, we have a good long tow rope out in the car.
You have?
Yes, sir. You'll find the car right out there in front.
Right down the curb a ways?
That's right.
Okay.
If I remember, the rope's a little bit straight in the middle.
That's all right. It can certainly hold Toby. Will I find it in the front or the rear of the car?
You'll have to look, dear.
Guess this is the car. My gosh. That's funny.
All right, young fellow. What are you trying to get away with?
What's that?
Did you think I didn't see you?
She was let go of my collar.
What were you doing in my car?
I've got a friend that's in a well.
Yeah?
But you see, Mrs. Lockbridge gave me permission to open this car.
Mrs. Lockbridge did?
It's her husband.
Well, it just happens to be my car, and I live right here in this house.
You do? You mean this other car here is Lockbridge's?
And I suppose you're going to tell me Mrs. Lockbridge gave you permission to let all the air out of my tires?
Are they flat?
What do you think I was watching out the window for?
Well, you certainly have my sympathy.
Here you are.
What's that?
It's a pump. Get to work.
But gee whiz, I give you my word, all I was looking for was a piece of rope so I could pull my friend out.
Maybe you'd like to have me turn you over to the police, my boy.
Oh, no.
Are you going to hook that pump onto the valve?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Why, it's which tire do you want me to pump up first?
I asked you your name.
It's Harry Ambrose.
Harry Ambrose, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, your family ought to be ashamed of you.
Yes, sir, they certainly ought to be.
I'm going in and keep an eye on you from the house. And don't forget, there's a street lamp right here, and I can see every move you make.
Yes, sir.
If I hadn't been a boy once myself, I'd turn you over to the law.
Yes, sir. Oh, gee whiz. Well, I'll be darned.
Henry, is that you pumping up those tires?
Father, where did you come from?
I'm looking for our ladder. And may I first ask what you're doing?
Father, I wish you'd go in and tell the man that owns this car that he has no right making me do this.
How did he happen to ask you to?
I was opening his car, see?
Son, didn't you promise to ring just one doorbell?
That's all I did
Then
do.
let's not have any excuses. Pump those tires up and take your punishment.
Where are you going?
To find a family by the name of Ambrose.
Of Ambrose? Ambrose?
I tracked the boy by that name as far as Mr. Edwards' house. You don't happen to know him, do you?
Harry Ambrose?
Do you know him?
Well, I think I've heard of him. But he's no friend of mine, Father.
Well, hurry up and finish those tires, and then get on.
But listen, Father.
Hey there, let me hide behind your car.
Who's that?
Is that you, Henry?
Is that you, Homer?
Here, Henry, hold it.
What is it?
It's a red lantern.
What am I to do with it?
Just hold it, Henry. I'm in a hurry.
But I don't want this, Homer.
Oh, so there you are.
Who?
You with the lantern. Come along with me, my boy.
You wait until I get even with you, Homer.
You got away from him, didn't you, Henry?
I got away from him, but look at what he did to my coat. How am I going to get this sleeve back on?
Aren't I going to help you get Toby out of the well?
Yes.
And didn't I get this rope for you?
Where did you get it?
Isn't it a beauty, Henry? I found it over here on Walnut Street.
What I mean, Homer, is whose was it?
Nobody's. It was just roping off a new sidewalk that had been laid this afternoon.
Listen, Homer, I'm not going to use it.
Well, we aren't going to keep it, Henry. It's just to get Toby out.
But, Homer, I don't think we should use it.
All right, then. All right.
Not so loud, Homer.
Do you see somebody?
We're right here by Mr. Edwards' house.
Oh.
Come on now, Homer, and follow me back to the well.
Why don't you want to disturb Mr. Edwards, Henry?
Well, if he's going to sleep, there's no sense in waking him up, is there? Come on back through this grape arbor.
I'm coming. Where is the well?
It's right ahead here. Someplace.
Can't you find it?
That's strange. Gee whiz, don't fall in the window. Oh, here it is. Hey, Toby. Toby, are you all right?
Toby.
Who is that?
It's Henry and Homer.
Well, you're the only ones that haven't been here before.
Who else has been here?
Everybody. And they all threw something down. The last time it was a bushel of apples.
Are you all right, Toby?
How could I be? Get me out of here.
We're letting a rope down now, Toby.
Here, Henry, I'll help you.
Is it down yet, Toby?
No.
It's coming. Homer, have you got the end?
What end, Henry?
Of the rope.
The end's down here.
Which end?
Both ends.
Well, gee whiz, Homer, if you aren't a help.
Toby, throw one end up here.
How am I going to do that?
Just throw it right straight up.
Here it comes.
Where is it?
Around my neck.
Henry, I've got an idea. Look out.
What are you going to do?
How about dropping this rock down and letting him tie the rope to it?
And then throw it up?
Now listen. Don't throw anything more down here. There isn't any more room.
Henry, do you think you could hold my hand while I go down part way?
How would you get the rope?
Well, Toby could tie it to my foot.
Sure, and then I'll pull you back up.
Well, take it easy now. Wait till I get over the edge.
Okay, have you got a good hold?
Yeah.
What's that coming down?
Don't worry, it's Homer.
Don't jump, Homer.
What do you think I am? Are you sure you got a hold of me, Henry?
Sure.
Easy now, easy.
I only had something to hang on to.
This is a nice time to think of that.
Don't worry, Homer, I've got you.
Boy, my arm's coming right out.
How much lower is it?
Wait a second and I'll tie the rope on Homer's foot.
You got it?
Come on, officer. I think they're off this way.
I'm coming.
Oh, gee whiz.
Who's that?
Keep quiet. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Gee, if they had come 2 feet closer, they would have fallen right in with us.
That would have been good.
Well, we got you out, Toby, even if we did have a hard time finding my father's ladder.
And Toby, we got you away from Mr. Edwards' house.
But I still haven't got any pants, Henry.
Oh, just walk along as though you were coming home from a party.
Boy, is this heavy.
Is what heavy? Listen, Toby, what are you carrying?
This battery.
Well, gee whiz, Toby, what'd you bring that for?
I didn't even know I had it.
Well, we've got to take that right back to Mr. Edwards.
All the way?
Sure. What do you think we hold it out for? We get caught with it, we'll get 6 months in jail.
Here, Homer, how would you like to carry it?
I don't want it. Let Henry carry it.
Toby, don't try to shirk responsibility.
Well, you fellas have got to go back with me. I'm not going alone.
Come on. Who's that coming?
Where?
Down there on the corner. He's coming right towards us. Isn't that a policeman?
I think it is, Henry. Let's turn around and go the other way.
That's what I say.
No, we'll walk right along as though we were heading for a garage.
Sure.
Oh, sure. Now, our battery ran down and we're going to get it recharged.
But I still haven't got any pants.
Listen, fellas, look ahead there.
Where?
There's another policeman, and he's walking right toward us.
So long, Toby.
Now, wait, Henry. You can't leave me flat like this. I've got to get rid of this battery.
Well, put it down someplace.
Sure, and supposing he sees me.
I've got an idea. You see that car parked there by the curb?
Yeah?
We'll put it inside. Just dump it through the window.
Henry, you've got a head on you.
Come on now. We'll hide between these 2 houses. Boy, if they see us.
Okay.
Wait for me.
Well, hurry up.
Quiet. The police are going by.
Do you think they saw us?
No, they're not even looking this way.
Say, fellas, do you know what I just happened to think?
What?
I left my fountain pen down in the well.
Say, gee whiz.
What's the matter?
That car we put the battery in.
What about it?
Somebody just drove off in it.
Is that you, Henry?
Yes, Mother.
Will you please tell me where you've been all evening?
Just out with Toby. Fooling around.
Well, come into the living room.
I've got to make a phone call first, Mother. Hello, operator. Then I'll be right there. Operator, could you get me... It's right here in the book. It's Elm 36.
Henry!
Mother, Father isn't in yet, is he?
No, he isn't.
Oh, hello? Hello, is this Mr. Edwards? Well, Mr. Edwards, this is to inform you that if you will notify the police to look for a car number T765, I think. Or maybe it was T5 something. Anyhow, in it you'll find your battery. What's that? This is just a friend, Mr. Edwards, who happened to be passing by your house a little while ago.
Henry!
Goodbye.
Henry!
I'm coming, Mother.
Why, where's your coat, dear?
I just hung it up in the closet.
Well, did you ring your doorbell?
Yes, Mother, I rang it.
Did you find it worthwhile?
Well, to be honest, I think I'm getting a little too old to be doing things like that. Where's my Latin?
Oh, Alice, is Henry in?
Yes, Sam, he's sitting here studying. Where have you been?
I found the ladder, but not the boy.
Sam, what on earth you have all over your shoes?
That is cement. They laid a new sidewalk over town and didn't even bother to rope it off.
Well, don't get it all over the carpet.
And what do you think I found a few minutes ago?
What?
A battery in the back seat of my car.
A battery, Father?
Tomorrow morning, Henry, you call up the police and find out who lost it.
All right, Father.
And then after you've done that, you can go over to Mr. Edwards and get our ladder.
Yes, Father. I wonder why people think Halloween is a time for fun.
Henry Aldrich will be back in just a moment. And when you make out the grocery list for tomorrow, friends, be sure to include several packages of Jell-O puddings. They're easy to make, inexpensive, and really delicious. Ask your grocer for all 3 flavors: Jell-O chocolate pudding, Jell-O vanilla pudding, and Jell-O butterscotch pudding. Jell-O puddings are made by the makers of Jell-O, so you know they're good.
folks. Be seeing you next week, I hope.
Now listen in again next Thursday evening to the Aldrich Family and to the Maxwell House Coffee Time program, which immediately precedes it on most of these stations. A solid hour of sparkling radio entertainment every Thursday night. The Aldrich Family, starring Ezra Stone, is written by Clifford Goldsmith. Original music is composed and conducted by Jack Miller. Now, this is Harry Von Zell bidding you all good night.
It's your grocer, folks, calling up to let you know about our special this week on Bird's Eye Quick Frozen Haddock Fillets. Say, what really good haddock it is, too. Chock full of that fresh-tasting, deep-sea flavor. And don't bother to look for any bones, because Bird's Eye Haddock is all cleaned and boned for you, ready for the pan. Buy Bird's Eye Haddock Fillets tomorrow. They're specially low price all this week.
McCarthy Show. This is Ben Grauer, ladies and gentlemen, greeting you on behalf of Edgar Bergen, Charlie McCarthy, Ray Noble and his orchestra, Anita Gordon, Mortimer Snerd, Ursel Twing, and our guest for the evening, Boris Karloff.
Every time you're near a rose, aren't you glad you've got a nose? And if the dawn is fresh with dew, aren't you glad you're you? When a meadowlark appears, aren't you glad you've got two ears? And if your heart is singing too, aren't you glad you're you? You can see a summer sky, or touch a friendly hand, or taste an apple pie. Pardon the grammar, but ain't life grand? And when you wake up each morn, aren't you glad that you were born? Think what you've got the whole day through. Aren't you glad you're you?
That was cute, Anita. Let's sing it again, huh?
Okay, if you'll help me out.
Gladly, dear. Anything for you.
Every time you're near a rose, aren't you glad you've got a nose?
That's sweet. Not with this hay fever, no.
And if the dawn is fresh with dew, aren't you glad you're you?
In my own modest way, yes.
When a meadowlark appears, aren't you glad you've got two ears?
Well, I'd look kind of silly with three, wouldn't I?
And if your heart is singing too, aren't you glad you're you? You can taste an apple pie.
Oh, yummy, yummy. I got an itchy feeling in my tummy.
Or touch a friendly hand. Pardon the grammar, but ain't life grand?
Yippee.
And when you wake up each morn, aren't you glad that you were born?
Oh, Max, I wouldn't hear if I wasn't.
The whole day through, aren't you glad you're you?
Well, when Bergen's around, yeah.
Aren't you glad you're you?
When you're around, hubba, 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 hubba.
Oh, Charlie!
Ray Noble and his orchestra with their musical version of The Breeze and I.
Charlie. Yeah, Charlie, why do you keep turning your face away from me like that?
No, nothing.
Look at me. Oh, yes. What makes your eyes so black?
Well, the color of it.
Yeah.
Black is so smart this year, they say.
Yeah. And your coat's torn, too, all torn.
Well, the buttonholes are still there.
Yeah. Fighting again. That's it, fighting again, isn't it?
Yes, sir, yes. Yes, it was, yes.
How do you manage to get into all this trouble?
No, I don't know. I guess I just know the right people.
Well, out with it, young man. What was the cause this time?
Well, sir, this is a different story.
Yes.
It was my neck, sir.
Your neck?
Yes, I stuck it out too far.
I see. Well, what's the story, Charlie? Come on now. And I want the truth, and I want it right now. And if you don't, why, you know what...
Yeah, I know. Don't get that woodshed look in your eyes.
All right.
I'll tell you. It's like this.
Yes.
I was walking down the street, see?
Yes.
There's no harm in that.
No.
Thinking beautiful thoughts. Minding my own business.
Yes. Well, that is unusual.
Well, I soon got sick of it.
Yeah, All right, now proceed. And while you're telling the story, young man...
Yes?
I'll decide what your punishment should be.
Yeah. Punishment?
Yes.
Well, now, I'll admit, Bergen, I was fighting. But it was for your honor. Your honor. I mean, Mr. Bergen.
That's a likely story.
But it was, Mr. Bergen. It really was. You see, there was a big bully twice my size.
Yes.
And he said certain things about you. So I just couldn't stand it. I just let him have it.
Mm-hmm. You mean he was telling lies about me?
Yeah, worse than that, he was telling the truth.
And you fought this big bully on my account?
Yes, Mr. Bergen, that's just what I did. And I don't want anyone running you down. I guess that's just sentimental, but I just don't want anyone to run you down.
I see.
Except me.
Yeah, I see. Well, I do feel flattered that you stood up for me.
Well, why shouldn't I? After all, Bergen, you're all I've got.
Yes,
of course. It ain't much, but it's all.
Well, the important thing is, Charlie, you were a brave boy.
Yes, that I was.
To go after someone twice your size.
Oh, you're so right, Bergen.
Yes.
I started out landing a couple of good ones.
I bet you did.
Then I was unexpectedly taken horizontal.
I see. Yeah. But you got right up again, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I certainly did. Constantly.
Yeah.
I was up, I was down. I was down, I was up.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo McCarthy, they called me.
Why, you poor kid.
Oh, it's nothing really.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I was wearing my nose pompadour.
I see. Well, you poor boy.
Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah. How is your nose now?
I think it's taken its last blow.
I see. Charlie, you don't know how much I appreciate what you've done.
Yeah.
You know, Charlie, I feel closer to you now than I've ever felt before.
Yeah.
This means a great deal to me.
Yeah?
Yes. I feel more like a father.
You're right.
Yes.
I feel closer to you, too, Bertie. I just couldn't help myself.
Yeah. I really believe that you're dearer to me now, Charlie, than at any time.
You're very good.
Yes, Charlie.
You kissed me.
All right. Yeah. But seriously, Charlie, I want to do something real nice for you now. What would you like?
Well, I could be imposed upon to accept a banana split or two.
Oh, yeah. No sooner said than done. Ray?
Oh, yes.
Ray, yes.
Yeah.
I say, Charles, old boy. Aren't you using just a wee bit too much eyeshadow?
Yeah. Now, don't be funny. This decoration I received on the field of battle.
Oh, indeed.
It's the Purple Orb.
Yeah. Well, you certainly look funny, old thing. How did it happen?
Yeah, well, bend down and I'll show you.
All right, now, never mind, Charlie. Ray, will you call a page boy?
Oh, right, Edgar, on the double.
Yeah. Now, what would you like, Charlie?
Well, I'd like a scoop of pineapple and tutti frutti mixed. And then a scoop of chocolate and pistachio. That won't do. The color's clash.
I see, yeah. Well, here's the boy now.
Here I am, mister.
Yes, good.
Hiya, Slugger. Hey, that sure was one swell battle you and that kid done.
Oh, you saw the fight.
Yeah, I seen it all.
Yeah, Ixnay, kid, not so outly, Ixnay.
You got off lucky, Charlie. The other guy had two shiners.
Yes. You mean that big bully who said those mean things about Mr. Bergen, huh? Don't you, pal? I hope, huh? Yeah? Yeah.
Nah. I mean that little kid.
That little kid?
Yeah, the little kid with the cute thing you tried to swipe from him.
That's all, brother. That's all. Just a moment. So you weren't fighting after all, were you? It was over a girl.
Yes.
And you're still telling me lies in spite of all the punishment I've given you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the woodshed. Give me the works. Pour it on. All right. And I'm going to, too.
But I just want you to know one thing, Bergie. This has taught me a lesson.
Well, I hope it has. And what have you learned from this?
Well, after all these years with you, Bergen, I have found that if I try hard enough,
Yes, of course.
I can still make an awful dope out of you.
Mr. Bergen.
Well, how do you feel, Mortimer?
Oh, fine. No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, I almost forgot I got a misery.
Oh, I see.
Well,
what kind of misery have you?
Well, I got a headache in my tooth.
You mean you have a toothache?
Yeah, I got a toothache. Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. Which tooth is it, Mortimer?
Hmm?
I say, which tooth is it?
Well, it's quiet, please.
Which tooth is it?
Well, don't tell me. Let me guess.
All right.
I think it's one of my cuspidors.
No, not cuspidor.
Well, it's one I spit through.
It is. Yes, I see. Well, I see. Maybe it's a baby tooth.
Well, I don't think so, no. I don't even have a baby.
Oh, you don't have one. Well, I wish you'd told me sooner about this toothache.
Well, I rapped at your door earlier this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you ring my bell?
Well, I didn't want to wake you up.
Well, maybe I better look at your tooth. Do you mind?
Well, I'll open my mouth and you can browse around.
Yeah. Open wide. Yes. I can't see very well. Your tongue is in the way. Yeah. Do you mind sticking your tongue out?
Which end?
Oh, now, really. Say, that is bad. That's very bad, Mortimer. Hmm? Don't you care for your teeth?
I don't care for them when they ache.
No, I don't mind. Don't you brush them regularly?
Yep.
What about toothpaste?
No, I don't believe in that stuff.
You don't believe that?
You can't paste a tooth back.
Oh, no. I suppose you know you should see your dentist twice a year?
Oh, shucks, I see mine every day.
Every day?
Mm-hmm. I deliver papers there.
Oh, I see. Well, Mortimer?
Yeah, I'm Mortimer.
Yeah, right.
Well, ain't that done?
No, I know. Well, I think I should take you to a dentist tomorrow. Let's see now. Where shall we meet?
Well, let's see. Someplace will be best, I think.
Yeah, someplace. But when and where?
Well, we can decide that when we get there.
Yes, I think so. That's decided when we get there.
Yeah.
How can you be so stupid?
Well, I reckon my wisdom tooth grew in backwards.
Charlie's 15-year-old singing discovery in 20th Century Fox starlet Anita Gordon sings There Must Be a Way.
There must be a way to help me forget that with you. There must be a way to stop me from dreaming of you. There must be a star in the sky that isn't reflected I just don't know how to disguise how much I miss you. There must be a song that doesn't remind me of you. There must be a kiss to thrill me like yours used to do. I looked for a way to be happy, happy with somebody new. Oh, there must be a way, but I can't find that way without you. There must be a song that doesn't remind me of you. There must be a kiss to thrill me like yours used to do. I looked for a way to be happy, happy with somebody new. Oh, there must be a way, but I can't find that way without you.
I say, chaps, you know, I love to hear about ghosts.
Oh, do you, Pumpkinhead?
Oh, rather, yes. They frighten me out of my wits. Does me good to get out once in a while, too.
Maybe you've been seeing too much of yourself lately.
I beg your pardon, human beings. I'm looking for Mr. Charles McCarthy.
Well, if it isn't Boris Karloff. Boris, what brings you here?
I'm here in answer to a call for a horror man.
Well, pull up the slab and lie down. Just how horrible can you be?
Well, have you had any bad dreams?
Sure.
Then you must remember me. I'm responsible for some very weird things.
Did you change the name of 6th Avenue?
No, but I scared the pants off of Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, that explains why he wears those bedsheet snuggies.
Now then, let's get down to business.
Yeah.
When do I start? You know I do my best work on a very dark night.
So do I.
I say, tell us, Mr. Karloff, how much do you charge for a scare?
$10 for sending a chill up a person's spine.
How much for a round trip? No.
Well, this Halloween I have a blue-faced special.
A blue-faced special?
With assorted shivers and a cold sweat for only $7.85.
Yeah. The only thing about you that scares me is your prices. I don't think I can use you.
Oh, no, please, give me a chance. I'll work my skeletons to the bone.
I'm sorry, you just don't have the right face, that's all.
Well, I hope you don't think it's the only one I have.
Oh, you mean you have worse ones?
Why, of course.
Yeah?
Now, why don't you fly over to my house with me on my broom?
Yeah, well, on a broom. Well, I might go just for the ride, you know. If you found I won't fly off the handle, though.
Oh, Charlie, I'd love to ride on a broomstick.
Yes, so would I, Anita.
Well, I don't know if there's going to be room for all of it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
I have a whisk broom for a sidecar.
Oh. Okay, let's all pile out.
Fasten your safety belt.
Yeah, okay. Contact, we're ready. It works. A haunting we will go. A haunting we will go.
I say, Mr. Karloff, where did you get this jalopy?
I picked it up on a used broom lot.
Sure got a swell buy. The straws don't even need retreading, do they?
Gee, we're certainly making speed, aren't we?
Yeah, this must be one of those LaGuardia's express highways, don't you think?
What was that?
The stalk on the hurry call.
Navigator to pilot, there's a wild duck coming in at 11 o'clock. Shall I shoot it?
No, boy, no. No, don't do that, Charlie. Let's wait until 12 and have it for lunch, old boy.
Well, here we are, folks.
Oh, my stomach. What a spooky-looking place.
This is my domicile. Welcome to Gruesome Gables.
Oh, let's go in. Ooh, it's dark in here.
Yeah.
Charlie, will you hold my hand?
Yeah. Well, whose hand is this I'm holding?
Mine, old boy.
Don't be afraid, dear friends. Don't be afraid.
Where did that laugh come from?
I don't know, but we could use it right about now.
Now, if you'll pardon me, I'm going to go out and put on a hideous face and sharpen up a few blunt instruments.
Yeah, well, I was... Oh, what was that that touched me?
I am a ghost.
I don't believe in ghosts.
Well, I don't believe in people either, so there.
I don't go away mad.
I say, why do you shiver and shake like that?
Oh, it's these darn old cold sheep.
Charlie, what's that funny-looking chair over there?
I guess that's the chair rigor mortis sets in.
Here, friends. Here. This is the face I wore when I posed for the picture on a bottle of arsenic.
That's pretty hard to swallow.
Don't be afraid. Remember, you haven't lived until you've died.
Yeah. Now, there's a hunk of logic for you.
Now for the young lady. Something special.
Oh, goody.
Watch. My cheeks sink in. My eyes are hollow caverns. My skin is pasty white. I sway lifelessly.
Oh, Frankie!
Now, see what you've done. You can't even scare Anita.
Oh, and you can't frighten me either.
Oh, I think he's cute. I love the way he wrinkles up his cute little skull.
Oh, frankly, I think the whole thing is frightfully dull. Let's go, Anita.
Oh, no, don't go. No, please don't go. Wait a minute.
See you later, Charlie.
See you later, Charlie.
Boys, you're a fine horror, man. You couldn't send a cold chill through a refrigerator.
Oh, don't talk like that.
You couldn't scare a baby out of the hiccups.
Alas, to think I'm a failure. I can't even raise one teensy-weensy little goose pimple.
Not even a gosling, no.
Nobody wants a zombie anymore.
Except the drink, that's all.
Woe is me. I'm losing my horrible looks. Can it be that I'm getting glamorous?
No, I wouldn't.
Don't tell me that I'm a glamour ghoul.
No.
What will the boys down at the morgue say?
Oh, now, don't cry. The mascara's running all over your pretty little face.
Oh, I can't help it. I just don't understand. What if I do torture and murder people? I have no bad habits.
Well, now, don't take it so hard. With your sunny disposition, maybe you can get a job as Santa Claus or something.
Oh, the pity of it all. A lifetime of crime wasted.
Yeah?
You see, even your friends have walked out on me.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm still here, see?
That's right, you are. And we are all alone. Just the two of us.
Yeah, but... Why are you looking at me like that, sort of?
I like you.
Uh-huh.
I would do the last thing on earth for you.
Yeah, the last... Yeah, well, don't rush things.
I'm sure you'd love it here amongst the skeletons. Some of my best friends are skeletons.
Yeah, well, so long, stranger.
Wait a minute, friend.
Yeah.
You know, you have a very interesting head.
Yeah, sure.
There's an experiment I've been dying to try.
Yeah.
I could really scare people again if I had two heads.
Yeah, Boris, you killed me. What am I saying?
You're not afraid, are you?
No, I'm not afraid. I always have lavender skin. What are those dogs howling for?
Why, Charlie, dogs always howl when someone is about to die.
Oh,
Let me examine the ligaments of your neck.
Go away. Get that scalpel off my lap, will you?
Don't start backing towards the door. It's locked.
Who cares about the door? I'm going through the wall. Back in. Help.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Thank you for listening to RadioClassics.com. Programs are copyright their respective owners. All rights reserved.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company. Tonight, we have special news for you. Kraft presents a new cheddar cheese. It's called K-Brand Natural. K-Brand is cheddar cheese at its best. Finest quality cheese from the standpoint of both flavor and texture. Listen for the exciting story of K-Brand Natural later in the program. It is written that men of genius have that capacity for losing themselves in their work. At the end of each month, the Great Gildersleeve loses himself in the pile of water bills. And helping him get lost is his secretary.
Bessie? Bessie, come in here.
Did you call me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Your name's Bessie, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Oh, then you did call me.
Bessie, I've been looking high and low for that list of turn-ons. Where is it?
Turn-ons?
Yes, you made it out this very morning.
I did?
I'll say one thing for you, Bessie. You've made a place for yourself here in the water department.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You've misplaced so many reports since you've been here, you've made yourself indispensable.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Don't mention it. Now think, Bessie. Where is the list of turn-ons? New customers.
Oh, new customers. It's right here on your desk, Mr. Gildersleeve. You want me to read them?
Yes, I'll check.
Ready?
Go right ahead.
I'll start with the A's.
Now you're thinking, Bessie.
Adkins, James.
Atkins, James.
Clausen, Henry L.
Clausen, Henry L.
Dalrymple, Mrs. J.W.
Dalrymple, Doris.
Doris?
Doris? Oh, did I say Doris?
Yes, sir. That's where we got stopped before. Should I try to call Mrs. Dalrymple again, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, Bessie. Probably out joyriding with Judge Hooker while I work.
Is there something wrong with her statement, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, her statement's fine. Lovely.
I'll mail it then with the others.
Mail it? Wait a minute, Bessie. I may be passing that way, and so I'll drop it by myself, right now, as a service to a new customer.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve, isn't that out of your way?
Save a stamp, Bessie. Save a stamp. And, Bessie, call the florist and have him make up 24 roses.
Yes, sir. To whom should I have the roses sent?
I'll pick them up. I'll deliver them myself.
To Mrs. Dalrymple?
Yeah, to Mrs. Dalrymple. Well, she's a new customer. Sure is a long way to Mrs. Dalrymple's. She would live over here by the school grounds. And how she stands those noisy kids.
Hi, Unc.
Leroy. Hasn't he left for home yet?
Hi, Unc. You come for me? I was just going.
Leroy, put in your shirt tail.
But school's out.
So's your shirt tail. Put it in.
Well, I have to pull it right out again when I change for dinner. Why stick it in when right away I have to pull it out?
Leroy.
Okay. Now I'm ready. Let's go. Gee, nice here to come so far out of your way just to walk home with me.
Well, I have a water bill to deliver, Leroy.
Okay, I'll help you.
I don't need any help, young man. There's only one bill. Say, isn't that Mrs. Dalrymple exercising her dog?
Yeah. Let's go deliver the bill, Unc.
The bill happens to be for Mrs. Dalrymple.
Oh, I get it. And the flowers happen to be for a dog.
Leroy, don't try to be smart. It's very unlike you around the schoolhouse. Well, hello, Mrs. Dalrymple.
Why, Mr. Gildersleeve and Leroy. Oh, I didn't expect to see you here, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I didn't expect to see you either. Just on my way home. Leroy. You may go home now.
But, Unc, I want to watch you give her the flowers.
Run along, young man, and tell Bertie I'll be right behind you.
Okay.
Well, Mrs. Dalrymple, isn't this a coincidence?
But say, Unc.
What is it now, Leroy?
You didn't mean what you said this morning, did you? That I have to be in by 9 o'clock tomorrow night? All the kids are going Halloween.
Leroy, I gave you my answer.
Okay. I think I'll stick around and wait for you then.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Leroy.
What about Halloween? Still
All right, 10 o'clock, ye gods.
Oh, boy, thanks, Unc. Glad I saw you, Mr. Dalrymple.
Oh, my, what a spirited young boy. He's charming, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I do get a boot out of Leroy. And he gets a few out of me, too. The flowers.
Oh, flowers.
Yeah, from the water department. New customer, you know.
Oh, they're perfectly lovely, Mr. Gildersleeve. They're just peachy.
Peachy. And there's your water bill, too.
A water bill? Isn't that cute?
Think so?
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, do you bring flowers to all of your new customers?
Well.
And deliver all of your water bills in person?
Well. Care to sit down for a minute on the bench?
Oh, I really should be going.
Take a load off those dainty little feet.
All righty. But what'll I do with Duke?
Duke? Oh, the dog. Oh, tie him to the flagpole. That'll hold him. Here, I'll do it for you. Yeah, nice, Duke. Oh. Maybe you better do it. I'd hate to upset him.
Well, I'll unsnap his leash and let him romp. He won't go far unless he sees a cat or something. There you are, Duke.
Big elephant. I hope he flushes a Greyhound bus and chases it all the way to Dallas.
What was that, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I said I had a Greyhound once, name of Alice. Look at him romp off. Frisky. Must be the weather. Nothing like autumn air.
Oh, I love the fall season. And it's especially nice here in Summerfield.
You'll get to like it even better. Yes, sir. Just look at those trees. Wonderful time of the year. Say, tomorrow's Halloween. Let's have a little party at your house. Too many people at mine.
A Halloween party?
Sure. Bob for apples, toast marshmallows. I'll get candy, pumpkins, noisemakers.
Why, that's a marvelous idea. Oh, but Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't know anybody in Summerfield. I wouldn't know who to invite.
You know me.
All righty. You're invited.
I am.
I'll be expecting you early. Well, I'd better go get the dew.
Ta-ta, Mrs. Dalrymple. Well, a cozy little Halloween. Just for two. Tea for two and two for tea. Good morning, Bertie. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Gildersleeve. Coming with the coffee.
Smells good, Bertie.
Yes, sir. Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, Chief of Police Mr. Gates called up this morning early.
Oh? Well, what'd he say?
Nothing the first time. When I heard it was the police, I hung up.
You hung up? Well, why'd you do that?
I don't know. I guess I've been going to too many gangster pictures.
Oh, my gosh. I'd better call him.
Oh, he called back. He said to remind you of the annual Jolly Boys Halloween party tonight.
Oh, by George, I forgot that, Bertie. Well, if he calls again, tell him I have a little party of my own. With a little party.
Yes, sir.
And when you go to the market, Bertie, remember to pick up 2 pumpkins for me, will you?
I'll try to remember, Mr. Gildersleeve. 2 pumpkins.
Yeah.
But everybody else around here has asked me to remember things, too.
I know, Bertie, but this is very...
Miss Marjorie wants Bertie to remember the Halloween candy, and Leroy wants Bertie to remember his teacher's birthday, and the city wants Bertie to remember to put out the cans.
All right, Bertie.
But I'll try. There's one thing you got to say for Bertie. She tries to remember.
And now what would be for you, sir?
2 pumpkins. Those 2 funny hats. She'd like the one with the feather. Give me 2 apples, Joe, that float. Give me 2 horns. Peavy, give me 2 cigars.
Your usual brand, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Say, Peavy, I see you have Halloween masks. Let me have a couple of them. One for me and one for a lady.
Very well, Mr. Gildersleeve. We have quite a selection. What kind did you have in mind?
Well, I don't know.
Well, now, here's one that covers the whole face. I'm taking one of those home for Mrs. Peavy. We also have them with funny black mustaches.
No thanks, Peavy.
And then we have the type that just covers the eyes.
Oh, fine. Give me 2 of those, Peavy. Come to think of it, you better have the lips free. We're bobbing for apples, Peavy. What's wrong with that?
Nothing, Mr. Gildersleeve. You care to try on some of the masks?
Yeah, just give me 2, Peavy. Any 2. I'll reach 2 of these El Lobo cigars you have on the counter here.
The El Lobos?
Well, I spent a lot of money today, Peavy. Yeah. A little black, but they look fresh.
Well, the customer's always right, Mr. Gildersleeve. El Lobos it is. That'll be 50 cents for the masks and 8 cents for the 2 cigars.
Here you are, Peavy. 58. Yeah. Think I'll light one.
I guess the boys will be out raising old Ned tonight. Had quite a nice run on soap today.
Oh? Well, I soaped my share when I was a kid. But tonight I'm looking forward to a quiet, cozy Halloween. Well, cigar went out, Peavy.
Those El Lobos smoke up a lot of matches.
Yes, Sir Peavy. I'm really looking forward to this evening with a charming little lady. Halloween for 2. Ta-da-da-dee. Peavy, we're going to have a wonderful time.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Yes, huh?
Mrs. Peavy and I may be a little late. Have to close up, you know. But
what?
We'll join in the spirit of things when we get there.
Get where, Peavy?
To Mrs. Dalrymple's party.
Mrs. Dalrymple? She isn't having a party. Nobody else has been invited, just me.
Well, I wouldn't say that. According to Judge Hooker, there's going to be quite a gathering.
Hooker?
The Jolly Boys, Mr. Williger.
That old goat, what does he have to do with this?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. All I know is that when I get a chance to get out of the house with Mrs. Peavy on Halloween, I take it.
Yes. Well, I hope you'll all have a happy Halloween, Peavy. Goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, is something wrong? Mr. Gildersleeve. That's peculiar. First he turned pale and then pink. I didn't think those El Lobos were that bad.
Do you like natural cheese, especially a mellow, rich-flavored cheddar? Well, then, here's news to make your mouth water. Kraft experts now can give you a natural cheddar cheese with uniform fine flavor and texture and made from pasteurized milk. It's called K-Brand Natural. That's K-A-Y Brand Natural. Just think of the mellow goodness of natural golden cheddar, but made from milk pasteurized as carefully as the milk your children drink.
Excuse me, but I don't quite understand. You mean all the milk in K-Brand cheese is pasteurized?
Absolutely. Every drop is wholesome, pasteurized milk. K-Brand is aged differently, too. Natural cheese ordinarily is cured in cheesecloth and forms a rind. But each big 10-pound bar of K-Brand has no rind because it ages in its own transparent wrapper. And it comes to your dealers with all its golden goodness still protected by this spick-and-span wrapper.
How do I buy K-Brand Natural?
Your dealer will cut as much as you wish. A portion, thick slices, or a wedge. You'll use it in sandwiches and on your cheese tray.
I'd better get enough. My family will love it for snacks, and with pie, too.
Tomorrow, folks, when you shop, look for the big golden bar with K-Brand Natural. K-Brand Natural down the top and sides. It's the wonderful new natural cheddar made from pasteurized milk. Now it's late afternoon, and if we hurry, we can catch the Great Gildersleeve as he pulls up in front of his house. His car, like Noah's Ark, loaded with 2 of everything. And he, like Noah, very much at sea.
Fine friend Hooker turned out to be, inviting everybody to my party. Oop. What's his car doing in front of my house? Well, this is one time I'm glad my brakes aren't too good. Well, my brakes were even worse than I thought. Yeah, that'll teach him. What was that? Hope it was Hooker's muffler. Ooh, my license plate. Oh, well, it was nearly a year old anyway.
What's the matter, Gildersleeve? Don't you know how to park a car?
You're the one who doesn't know how to park, Hooker, right next to a fire plug.
I didn't park next to the fire plug.
Well, you're next to it now.
It's a little early for Halloween pranks, isn't it, Gildersleeve?
You started them, Hooker. You've got a lot of nerve coming over to my house after what you did. Get off the property.
Now, Gildy, I'm Mrs. Dalrymple's legal advisor. She decides to give a party, so I help her. And if I do say so, it's a very carefully prepared guest list.
The Jolly Boys.
We were going to have a party anyway, and Floyd and Mrs. Munson are always good for laughs.
Ye gods, Hooker, not Lovey Munson.
Mrs. Munson has a heart of gold. And I invited Mayor Terwilliger for dignity. It's time Mrs. Dalrymple met some of the important people of Summerfield.
I don't suppose I'm important.
I didn't say you weren't, but she's met you. Not afraid of a little competition, are you, Gildy?
Go move your car before I call the police, Hooker.
Well, if you're going to be stubborn, I'll run along and get you to the party. By the way, Gildy.
Yes?
I left your invitation on the mantel.
Go for the house, Hooker. Didn't even offer to help me take these things inside. Darn pumpkins. Seem a lot heavier than when I bought them. Hope I step on one of Leroy's roller skates and break the whole shebang.
Hello, Unky. Here, let me help you.
Hello, Marjorie. Thank you, my dear.
I'll take the horns. Looks like your party's going to be fun.
I don't know. I may not even go.
What's wrong, Uncle Mort?
Who wants to go to a party with people there?
Unky, don't be silly. I have 20 kids coming over here. What's a party without a big crowd?
Well, this is one time I don't want to be crowded. By George, I don't think I'll go.
Oh, go ahead, Unky. You have a good time.
I refuse to have a good time. I'll stay home.
But, Uncle Mort, you won't have any fun here. Kids will be all over the house.
I won't be in their way. I'll go upstairs and spend Halloween in my room. Leroy will let me use his little radio. Probably.
Poor old Unky.
That's all right. Mrs. Dalrymple wants a lot of people around her. Why should I care? But I don't want to be there.
Oh, I'll get it. That must be Francie calling about the favors.
You can have the favors I bought. Whole day shot. I'd have had more fun down at the office working. I wouldn't be nearly so tired. Seemed to tire more easily since my birthday last week. Read an ad someplace that said I would.
Somebody get the telephone? Oh, good evening, Miss Gildersleeve. I didn't know you were home.
Yes, Bertie. Yikes! Bertie, why are you wearing that witch's hat? You should have warned me.
Sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm just in the process of dressing for a party in the church basement. I'm going as a witch.
Oh? Taking the bus or going to fly?
Me fly, Mr. Gildersleeve? Don't expect too much of Halloween. Something's a nice box, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm off.
Yeah, go have your fun while you're young, Bertie. And don't ring too many doorbells.
No, sir. Won't catch me ringing no doorbells. My girlfriend met a fella at a party, and they went out ringing doorbells and ended up ringing wedding bells. What you going to do at your party, Mr. Gildersleeve?
My party? Well, I've just about given up the idea, but...
Yes, sir?
By George, Bertie, you know what? I think we'll go out ringing doorbells.
Who wants to bob for apples next? Mrs. Munson?
Sure, might as well, Judge. My makeup's coming off anyway.
What a silly game. Hey, I got a wonderful idea, folks. Let's all go out and ring doorbells.
Quiet! Can't you see a lady's bobbing for apples? Well, here goes.
Congratulations, Mrs. Munson. What do you know? Lovey come up with an apple.
Her and her big mouth.
Oh, you were wonderful, Mrs. Munson.
Ah, thanks, Mrs. Dalrymple. You throw swell parties, honey.
Everybody's bob but you, Peavy. Better join in the fun.
Oh, I don't think I should, Judge. I didn't bring along my earplugs.
Well, What'll we play now? Hey, why don't we go out and ring doorbells?
Look at Lovey. She should have worn a bathing suit. She bobs so deep she's got water on the knees. Hey, Pete, where's the missus? She come, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she's in the other room watching the aquarium. Mrs. Peavy likes goldfish.
She's not bobbing for him, is she? Only kidding, Pete.
Well, what'll we play now? Quiet, Chief. Hey, everybody, I've got a wonderful idea. Why don't we all go out and ring doorbells?
What's the matter, Commish? Ain't you having any fun?
Hey, who brought the two horns?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I believe. The party's on him.
You'll see, you old goat.
Oh, come on, Floydie. Let's play a duet.
Oh, do let's have some music. Mr. Gildersleeve, you sing, don't you?
Well, yes, I do, Mrs. Dalrymple. What would you like to hear?
Well, I'd like to hear the chief sing. He has a deep voice.
Now, Mrs. Munson. Oh, brother.
Come on, Chiefy, over by the piano.
But I'm strictly a quartet man. Come on, jolly boys, I need a little help. What about going out and ringing doorbells?
Now, we're singing, Commish. Huh? Okay, what'll it be, fellas?
There is a tavern in the town.
Easy. Remember where we are.
Oh, pardon me. How about it's always fair weather, gentlemen? We do that well.
Yeah, here we go. Now, you take the solo, Chief, just like down at the club. Come on, join in, Commish.
Well, if I'm not intruding at my own parties.
All together.
Oh, it's always fair weather when good fellows get together with a sign. Our apologies, Mrs. Dalrymple. On the table and the song ring clear.
Not bad, Chief.
Well, what'll we play now? I have a wonderful little suggestion. Listen, everybody.
Hey, I just got another great idea.
All right, everybody. Mrs. Munson has an idea.
Yeah. Why don't we all go out and ring doorbells?
Why didn't we think of that before?
Yeah, why didn't we think of that before?
It's a great idea, Lovey.
Well, let's go ring doorbells, everybody. Great idea, Mrs. Munson. Sorry I didn't think of it. Great. But, fellas, I can't go ringing doorbells. You forgot my position. I'm chief of police.
Isn't that cute?
Come on, Chief. Come on. I got a reputation to uphold, too.
Let's all pair up, 2 by 2. Come along, Mrs. Dalrymple. But, fellas...
Come on, Phoebe. Let's go ring the school bell.
Well, you ring, and Mrs. Peavy and I'll just listen.
Great. We'll go the other way. Come on, Mrs. Dalrymple.
Well, all righty.
Just a minute, Gildy. Don't go sneaking off without me. I feel personally responsible for the safety of our charming hostess this evening.
Isn't that cute?
Well, then, come on, you old goat. Hey, there's a light in that window. Go ahead, Judge. Ring the doorbell. We'll get ready to run.
Why should I go up and ring it, Gildy? Why don't you?
You're faster on your feet than I am, Judge. Remember? You're thinner. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not afraid either.
Come on, Mrs. Dalrymple. We'd better get a head start.
But what about the judge?
The judge? Oh, he'll find us. He has the nose of a bloodhound. Let's duck behind this hedge. We'll go up through this alley. I know a doorbell we could ring.
But Mr. Gildersleeve, what about the judge?
Huh? Isn't he right behind us? Well, he got lost, didn't he?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I think you did that on purpose.
No. Oh, here's the house. Let's sneak around the side, huh?
But it's so dark.
Yeah, it is. I'd better take your hand. Oh, gloves. Well, follow me. Hurry up on the porch. Watch your step. There. Now, why don't you ring?
All righty. Mr. Gildersleeve, we don't want to ring this bell. This is my house.
It is? Well, then I'd better ring the bell, huh? You get inside and answer the door. trick or treat.
Oh, you are fun.
On second thought, I think I'll come in with you. A little chilly out here. Well, Mrs. Dalrymple?
Yes?
Trick or treat? How about a kiss?
Don't you think we'd better turn on the light?
Lights? Huh? Well, let's go in the living room. Plenty of light from the fireplace. We'll wait for the others. Sit down, Mrs. Dalrymple. Doris.
Doris, isn't that cute?
Care to take off your gloves?
All righty.
By George, Doris, I didn't think I was going to have any fun tonight. All those people here. But now I'm having a wonderful time. Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm glad you are, Mr. Gildersleeve, because I'm having a wonderful time, too.
You are? Doris.
Yes.
It's Halloween.
I know, but...
Trick or treat?
Mr. Gildersleeve.
What was that? Does your dog snore?
He does, but he's not here. He's over at my mother's house tonight with Baby.
Stand back. I'll strike a match. It's Chief Gates.
Oh, you're back. Well, good. What'll we play now?
Isn't that cute?
Good morning, Bessie. Well, glad to see you here on time.
Did you have a nice Halloween, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Rather disappointing, Bessie. Did you have a good time?
Oh, I stayed home. And people were ringing our doorbell all night. Father got awfully mad.
Good.
He went upstairs and dumped a bucket of water on one of them.
Oh?
And when he saw who it was, he threw the bucket at him.
He did? Well, who was it?
Judge Hooker.
Well, it wasn't such a bad Halloween after all. But, Bessie, tell your father not to dump any more water out the window, because I may be ringing his doorbell tonight.
Really? But, Mr. Gildersleeve, Halloween's over.
For the community chest.
Oh, Father has a check all ready for you.
Yeah, fine, Bessie. Folks, when a volunteer worker from the community chest rings your doorbell, don't give him a big argument. Give him a big check. The more you give, the better you'll feel. Good night. I gotta go ring doorbells.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Terry. It was written by John Elliott and Andy White with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Louise Erickson, William Randolph, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Me too. Good night.
Tomorrow night, William Bendix will be Al Jolson's guest on the Kraft Music Hall, heard over this NBC station. Don't miss this great fair. Remember, tomorrow night. For exact time, see your local paper. And listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Do the folks at your house like their macaroni and cheese fluffy light with cheddar cheese goodness through and through? Well, let me tell you how to cook that splendid dish in just 7 minutes. Ask your grocer for a box of Kraft Dinner. In that package, you'll find a special macaroni that cooks fluffy light in just 7 minutes. Also, Kraft Grated to add that delicious cheddar cheese flavor. 7 minutes, and you have a delicious main dish. If you wish, add a little leftover meat or chicken or vegetables. The family will probably say it's the best macaroni and cheese they've ever tasted. Remember the name, Kraft Dinner.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Jell-O program
and starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Kenny Baker, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with Rainbow Round the Moon. This is the time of the year when it's fun to get the fireplace going, set up a card table, and have Sunday night supper by the fire. And here's a simple, attractive menu. Toasted sandwiches with hot coffee and a delicious Jell-O salad. You can make your salad ahead of time and serve it when you're ready. And there are dozens to choose from. Shimmering lemon Jell-O, generously filled with diced chicken. Refreshing orange Jell-O, combined with crisp carrots and celery. A tempting green mold of lime Jell-O with sliced canned pineapple inside. Whatever Jell-O salad you choose will be a hit with the family, for Jell-O combines perfectly with fruits or vegetables, chicken or seafood, and gives you grand-looking, grand-tasting salads. Just be sure to get genuine Jell-O when you buy, for Jell-O brings you that wonderful, extra-rich fruit flavor that can't be topped for salads or desserts. So look for the big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. Played by Phil Harris and his orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we take you to Jack Benny's new home in Beverly Hills, where he's throwing a Halloween party for his whole gang. Take it away, Beverly!
I'm no millionaire, try to get a party full of green bottle ladies, bottle ladies. I'm no millionaire.
Rochester, will you hurry up with those sandwiches? They'll all be here in a minute.
Yes, sir. I'm no millionaire. Hell, I'm not...
Now stop that crooning, will you? You're no Bing Crosby, you know.
That's right. He's better than I am.
Yes, slightly. And look, Rochester, look how thick you're cutting those sandwiches. I'm no millionaire either. Now slice that roast beef a little thinner.
I'm using a razor now.
Well, sharpen it. Goodness, you think I was expecting a crowd of starving Armenians?
Well, I don't think you got enough to eat here, boy.
Rochester, there's plenty of food for everybody. Nobody's going to go hungry at my party tonight.
Just the same, I could make a lot of money bootlegging hot dogs.
Oh, you could. Now, Rochester, you know perfectly well that I always have to give me that.
This is the only house in the neighborhood where the mice are picketed in the pantry.
Now, that's just a lie. On this morning using my rowing machine.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Happy Halloween.
Gee, I'm glad you got here early. You can help me get things ready.
Okay, but you better be careful, Jack. All the kids in the neighborhood are out tonight, and they're raising the dickens.
Well, naturally, Mary. After all, it's Halloween, you know.
Yes, but you ought to see what they just did in front of your house. They tore your big sign down.
What sign?
You know, the one that says, Jack Benny's residence, admission 25 cents.
Oh, darn those kids in this neighborhood. I'm going right out there and give them a good spanking. Did you see who they were?
Yes, there was Ronnie Coleman, Wally Beery, Bobby Taylor, and the Barrymore brothers.
Oh, the Beverly Hills mob, eh? What a bunch of rowdies.
Remember last year when they put ink in your swimming pool?
Yeah, and all the time I thought the water was too cold. You remember? Every time I took a swim, I turned blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those kids better not go in the backyard this year. I set a bear trap for them.
A bear trap?
Yeah, that'll fix them. Say, Mary, open that jar of stuffed olives, will you, and put one on each plate so it'll look nice, huh?
Just one on each plate?
Yeah.
What are they stuck with, platinum?
Oh, Rochester.
What do you want, boy?
I thought you were going to bring your brother over to help out tonight. Where is he?
He's September. September.
September? See, that's an unusual name. How did he get that?
Well, you see, boss, I was born in Rochester, and he was born in September.
Oh, I get it.
Of course, that's only his middle name.
Oh, his middle name, huh?
Yeah, he was born in the middle of September.
All right.
Well, never mind that. Get him out here. I want to talk to him.
Oh, September, come in. You called me, brother? Yeah, the boys want to talk to you.
Now, September, I suppose you've had experience working at private parties, haven't you?
Well, we've had experience, all right. That boy's been around.
Rochester, I'm talking to Septi. Now, listen. This is a rather delicate question, but I suppose you're honest. I mean, you can be trusted.
Well, I don't like to commit myself.
What?
Oh, he can be trusted all right. He used to work in a bank.
Oh, in a bank, eh? Well, that's good enough for me. I'll give him $3 for helping me out tonight.
Only $3?
Well, I'll bet that's more than he got at the bank.
Why, man, there was more than that stuck to his broom every day.
Well, that's all I'm going to pay. Now, get busy, both of you. How are you coming along, Mary?
Fine, Jack.
And stop eating those olives. You'll spoil your dinner.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh. Well, then think of me. Some of my gang don't get an olive on their plate tonight. They'll go around saying I'm cheap. And another thing, Mary, don't put so much lettuce in that salad. What is this, a rabbit convention?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack. An extra head of lettuce isn't going to break you.
That's not the point. I like to see things dainty.
If they're any daintier, we'll have to use tweezers.
Now, you just wait. If you want to know something, Mary, we're going to have a squab for dinner.
One squawk for the whole gang?
Yeah.
What are you going to do, wave it at us?
Well, there'll be other things, won't there? Vegetables and fruit and dressing and...
What are you going to have for dessert?
Popsicles. And they're delicious, too. Answer the door, Rochester.
You answered, September. Well, you closer than I am. No, I think you're closer. No, you is.
Well, we've got to open that door. Is there a surveyor in the house? Now, one of you answer.
Never mind, I'm in now.
Oh, hello, Kenny.
Hello, Jack.
Whee! Oh.
How am I doing?
Say, you're the regular Halloween kid, aren't you? I suppose you've been out raising the dickens tonight, huh?
Have I? And you know, when I left my house tonight, I stuck a pin in our front doorbell so it keep on ringing all the time. Oh, boy, you should have heard it.
A pin in your own doorbell? I bet your mother and father were mad, huh?
No, they're away for the weekend.
Kenny, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard of. You're the only guy in the world that would ring a doorbell to annoy someone in an empty house.
Well, that's nothing. When I go home tonight and open the door, a pail of water's going to fall on me.
It is?
Yeah. Oh, boy, I can hardly wait.
I can imagine the surprise. Kenny, put down that olive. You'll spoil your dinner.
Oh, one little olive isn't going to hurt him. Don't be so stingy.
Not that, but everybody will want one. And besides, they look nice on the table.
Say, Jack, I'd like to clean up a little bit before dinner. Can I go upstairs and wash my hands?
Yeah, but it'll cost you a nickel to get in the bathroom.
Now, Mary, you know better than that. So don't pass any of those smart remarks. Say, Kenny, when the gang comes here later, we want to have a regular party. You know, a lot of entertainment and fun. Will you sing a song for us?
Sure, well. And say, Jack, I got a tip, too. You want to hear it?
We'll wait till the gang gets here.
No, I want to do it now. I want to see if you like it.
All right, go ahead. Say, Mary, peel those hard-boiled eggs, will you?
They're old enough to peel themselves.
Do as I say. Go ahead and sing, Kenny.
Hey, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
You know that bear trap you set out in the backyard for those kids?
Yeah?
Well, we just caught a bear in it.
A bear? Well, if there's an Italian on the other end of that chain, I worked with him in Vaudeville. Let's go out and see. Sing, Kenny.
The night is filled with music. The glass is filled with dew. And I be filled with a heavenly feeling if my arms were filled with you. Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? You have danced with him since
the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Must you dance quite so close, with your lips touching his face? And to see I'm longing to be in his place. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Ask him to sit this one out, and while you're alone, I'll tell the waiter to tell him he's wanted on the telephone. You've been lost in his arms ever since heaven knows when. Won't you change partners and then you may never want to change partners again.
Hey, Kenny, that song was simply wonderful. It was swell.
Oh, did you really like it, Jack?
I sure did. But say, I wonder where all that applause came from.
There's a seal in the goldfish bowl.
Oh! The trained bear in the backyard and a seal in the goldfish bowl. This place looks like the NBA club. Hey, Rochester.
Yes, sir?
Where's that bowl of punch I made? I want it out here on the table so the guests can have a drink before dinner.
I'm afraid that punch is kind of weak, boy.
Weak?
Yes, sir. If you ask me, it's a stand of gin transfusion.
Now, Rochester, nobody asked for your opinion. And incidentally, I thought I heard some dice rattling in the kitchen before. You can cut that out, too.
Dice? I wasn't fooling with no dice.
Well, I thought I heard it. Now get back to work.
Yes, sir.
By the way, how's your brother doing in the kitchen?
Fine. He just won the gas stove from the cook.
Oh, he did, eh? Hey, September.
Is someone paging me?
Yes, I am. I don't want any crap shooting going on in this house. You're here to work, and that's all. Remember that. There's the door, Rochester.
There's the door, September. You've got new shoes. Break them in.
I'll get one of you guys to answer that door if I have to tie a pork chop on it. Rochester, answer the door.
Doors. I'd like a job that wasn't a tip sometime.
You will if you're not careful.
Hey, Jack, I'm getting hungry. What are we going to eat?
Kenny, you'll eat when everybody gets here and put down that goldfish.
Well, I'm only petting it.
Tell him what you did with the other one.
Kenny, if you eat another goldfish, you'll get yours.
Well, look who's here. Hello, Mr. Hare.
Hi, Rochester. Well, Phil, I thought you'd never get here.
Come on in, Barbara.
Barbara?
Oh, Jack, I hope you don't mind. I brought a girlfriend of mine along.
Hey, I should say I don't. Hey, she's beautiful. Huh?
Wow!
Kenny! Come right in, Miss...
This is Miss Whitney.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Whitney? Welcome to our happy little gathering.
Thank you, Mr. Benning. I'm so glad Phil invited me. I do hope it's not an imposition.
Oh, no. The more the merrier. It's always open house at the Chateau Benning. Oh, by the way, Miss Whitney, this is Kenny Baker.
Hello, Kenny.
Boy, I could go for you.
Don't mind Kenny. He's such an impulsive kid. And now, Miss Whitney, I'd like you to meet Mary Livingston.
Hello, Mary. It's so nice meeting you, my dear. Oh, Lolly. Well, it's just too ultra, ain't it?
Mary.
Well, those sweet dames bring me up.
You little minx. Say, and Phil, old man, I'm so glad you were able to make it tonight. You know, we're going to have a squab for dinner.
I knew it wouldn't be two.
Well, I didn't know you were going to bring a guest.
At that, we may have a little trouble carving it so that everybody gets a piece.
Why don't you send it to the Mayo brothers?
Oh, don't be so cute. You want to hear, you know, the way you hear this gang talk. I'm so nervous. She's so beautiful, you know. No, really. You know, to hear this gang talk, Miss Whitney, you'd think I was a regular old miser, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Well, fellas, as soon as the rest of the gang get here, we'll put on the old feedback.
Mr. Benny?
What is it, Rochester?
A man just brought in a case of champagne. Did you order?
A case of champagne? Certainly not.
I told him you wouldn't buy champagne if Sally Lamb was behind every bubble.
Well, anyway, I don't want it. Send it back.
Yes, sir.
If he didn't get so many laughs, I'd fire him. Good heavens, what's that? Oh, hello, Don. What's the big rush?
Oh, boy, I got here just in time. Hi, fellas.
Hi. John, you're all out of breath. What happened?
Well, I've been out celebrating Halloween, and you know that big white house up on the hill?
Yeah?
Well, I had a bar soap with me, so I sneaked up to the window and I wrote on it, Jell-O has 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Why, Don, you little scallywag. Did you get caught?
Yeah. A man came out and kicked me right between lemon and lime.
Well, brush yourself off, Don, and join the party. Oh, by the way, I want you to meet a friend of Phil's. This is Miss Whitney, Don Wilson.
How do you do, Mr. Wilson?
Well, I'm very glad to know you, Miss Whitney. Are you familiar with Jell-O?
Don, please, you just met the young lady.
That's all right. I have a weakness for Jell-O myself.
Oh, is that your only weakness, Miss Whitney? If I'm not too subtle.
You're about as subtle as a circus poster.
Mary, I'm talking to Miss Whitney. But you know, Miss Whitney, I've had a feeling all evening that I've seen you somewhere before. Are you by any chance in the movies?
No, I'm not.
Well, I am. In fact, I'm a star at Paramount. And then, of course, there's my radio work, too.
Tell her how much money you make and get it over with.
Mary! You know, Miss Whitney, there are times when Miss Livingston just drives me frantic. But I suppose, well, most women are like that. Don't you think so, Miss Whitney? I mean...
Yes, but why don't you stand still?
Oh, that's just a habit of mine. Pretty girls always make me nervous. Huh?
If I was her, I'd yawn right in your face.
Mary, please. We have company. I'll say you have. What are we going to eat?
Yeah, gee, I'm starving.
Pretty soon, boys, pretty soon. Hey, Rochester, how about dinner?
We'll be ready in a few minutes.
Okay, come on, folks. No use waiting any longer. Let's start in with these hors d'oeuvres first. One at a time, for heaven's sake. What's the matter with you guys?
Oh, I want 2 of those sardines.
Penny, you just take the one with your name in front of it. Now, don't be a pig.
God, this is worse than Russia.
Now, Miss Whitney, don't be bashful. Take anything you want. Just help yourself.
I tried to, but you hit my hand with a fork.
Oh! Was that you? I got all mixed up in this crowd. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Phil, hand me that deviled egg.
Oh, no, I saw it first.
Oh, I want a piece too.
No, everybody let go of that egg. Now, let's go.
This is the first meal I ever saw with a referee.
Well, you need one here. Now, everybody sit down at the table and stop acting like a pack of cannibals. Miss Whitney, you sit right here at my left.
Thank you.
And Phil, you sit way down at the other end of the table.
I could sit in Pomona and I wouldn't have to worry about you.
That's all. All right, Rochester, we're ready. There's the door, Rochester.
There's the door, September. I wonder who that can be. Only I was thinking of the same thing.
Well, stop guessing and see who it is. You have no idea, Miss Whitney, what I go through with these 2 boys. The servant problem is simply awful.
I know. I'm a chambermaid myself.
Oh, at the Biltmore, I thought I recognized you. I've seen you around there lots of times.
Don't be a sap, Jack. She doesn't work there. She's only kidding you.
As if I didn't know. Say, she's not the type at all.
Just the same, I'll bet you can whip up a room in a hurry.
Now, don't be catty. Hey, look who's here.
Hiya, fellas. Happy Halloween.
Hey, You finally got here, Andy. What happened to your Ma and Pa? What you were bringing them along?
Well, you know, it's Halloween, Buck, and they're going out to a costume party.
A costume party, eh?
Yeah, Ma's going as Marie Antoinette, and Pa's taking an axe.
Well, that ought to be a lot of fun. It's too bad you had to miss it, Andy.
Sure was, Buck. I was all set to go as a geranium.
That's a geranium?
Yeah, but I look lousy in a flower pot.
Well, you'll have a lot more fun right here. Say, Andy, I want you to meet a guest of mine, Miss Whitney.
Hello, Andy.
Hiya, Babs. What are you doing here?
Why, Andy, do you two know each other?
Oh, sure. We used to go to high school together. Hey, Babs, will you ever forget the time I kissed you?
I certainly will.
Well, Andy, you might as well sit down. We're about ready to eat.
Oh, Mr. Benny, I'm sorry, but there's going to be a slight delay.
What's the matter now, Rochester?
Well, September had a little argument with the cook and threw the squad at him.
He did?
Yeah, and hit him right in the mouth, which was open at the time.
Oh, my goodness.
Shall I serve the dressing?
The cook ate the squab. That's all we had. What are we going to eat now?
Well, there's that bear outside. Do you like venison?
Never mind that. Now, Rochester, run right down to the store and get some frankfurters, and hurry.
Yes, sir.
Gee, I'm awfully sorry, fellas. Gee, Miss Whitney, I hope the next time you come here, everything won't go wrong.
Oh, that's all right. I think this is quite jolly. Really, it's fun. That's a lie if I ever heard one.
It is not. Now, look, fellas, while we're waiting, how about having a little entertainment? Who plays the piano?
I do.
All right, how about a song, Phil? Come on, Phil, sing something, huh?
All right, but I don't do so well on an empty stomach.
Oh, don't worry, we'll eat later. Come on, Phil, what'll it be?
Well, how about, what have you got to get me?
Okay, here it, Kenny. Let's have some fun tonight, boys. Hey, look at that.
You haven't got that certain glance, you don't romance, and when we dance, you only dance. But what have you got that gets me? You haven't got that tiny nose or fancy clothes or lips like petals on a rose. But what have you got that gets me? You tease me, you taunt me, you let me sigh. I want you to want me, but why? You haven't got a coat of tan, a rich old man. You just play cards on your divan. But what have you got that gets me?
Hey, that was swell, Phil. Say, Andy, how about you singing a chorus?
Oh, not me, Buck. I'm a little hoarse tonight.
Oh, well, I'm glad you told us.
Well, all right. I'll do it if Mary sings with me.
Sure, how about it, Mary?
I'm so weak now, I'll do anything.
All right, hit it, Kenny.
You haven't got that certain glance, you don't romance, and when we dance, you only dance. But what have you got that gets me?
Here's what I got. A cow, a goat, a gravel throat. My voice sounds like an old coyote. That's what I got that gets you.
You're happy, you're sloppy, but I love you.
I'm Don Juan and Romeo too.
You haven't got a grand physique, your chin is weak,
but I got what they call technique. That's what I got that gets you.
Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute, Don. Hey, Don, how about you and I singing a chorus?
Okay, Jack.
Come on, hit it, fellas. I can follow Andy. You haven't got a form device. You're not streamlined. Your hips would make 14 of mine. But what have you got that gets me?
Here's what I got. It's strawberry and raspberry, orange, lemon, lime, cherry.
That's what you got that pays me.
Yeah, man.
You're sweet, Jack, you're neat, Jack, but oh, so tight.
It looks like we'll all starve tonight.
Right! I haven't got a squab that's true for you or you.
But a guy like you, that's nothing new. So what have you got that gets me?
you guys didn't have to insult me in that song.
You? You invite us here for dinner tonight and we don't get anything to eat.
Well, it's not my fault. Accidents can happen, you know. Anyway, Rochester will be right back here with the Frankfurters. Excuse me a minute. Hello?
Say, Mr. Benny, I'm over here at the Dalton Testing store. You forgot to give me money for the Frankfurters.
Well, you pay for them, Rochester, and I'll give it back to you later.
Well, I don't know about that, boy.
Now, Rochester, pay for that out of your own pocket.
I ain't got no pants on.
That's a lie. You had pants on when you left the house.
They could have worn out, you know.
That's ridiculous. If you're not back here in 5 minutes with those Frankfurters, I'll move you out of the guest room. Now, hurry up. Well, looks like we might have to... Hey, fellas. Hey, where are you? Hey, fellas.
We're out here in the kitchen.
You ought to see what we found in the icebox.
Oh, boy, a turkey.
Come on, let's cook it.
Cook it, Justin. Give me a drumstick. Now, wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I'm saving that for Thanksgiving.
Well, let's try and do a chair, fellas. Reach
Wait a minute. Now, come out now. Now, stop.
There's a brand new dessert the whole family will enjoy, and it's so easy, so inexpensive, so good to look at that you'll enjoy making it. It's the new Jell-O butterscotch pudding, a real triumph in dessert. Just picture it for yourself. Crystal sherbet glasses each piled high with this rich-looking, taffy-colored butterscotch pudding. It's luscious with good old-fashioned butterscotch flavor. It's mellow and smooth and creamy. It's swell dessert. And butterscotch is just one of 3 new Jell-O puddings. There's Jell-O vanilla pudding, a lovely creamy color with a delicate flavor of real vanilla, a grand all family dessert. And there's Jell-O chocolate pudding, as delicious as the kind that Mother used to make, but far quicker and easier. Well, these tempting new Jell-O puddings require only a few moments cooking. There's no fuss or bother, and the simple directions are on every package, and you can't go wrong. So try them all and try them soon. The best way to get acquainted is to buy 3 packages at a time. Ask your grocer tomorrow for Jell-O butterscotch, vanilla, and chocolate pudding.
This is the last number of the 5th program in the new Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Gee, that Miss Whitney was beautiful and so charming, too. Mary, do you think she liked me?
Oh, sure. How could she resist you, you big, strong dope?
Good night, folks.
Kenny Baker appears on the Jell-O programs with courtesy of Mervyn Leroy Productions. This is the National Broadcasting Company.